We are back on another episode of Backstage Bucks County. Today we have two of my new favorite people. We've been trying to get this on the books for a little while.
Yep.
So, local legends, two twin brothers. We know your family really well. We're going to get into a mountain of stuff. Nick and Stephen Servis, the Servis Brothers. Let's give it up for them.
Let's go.
So, we've known your dad for a little while. He comes to a lot of our shows. He's a super sweetheart of a guy. Always looking real good. You know, he's got the spray tan. He's fit. He's got the cowboy hat on. But, you know, for a while, like, we just had a relationship developed with him just as, you know, a guy we would see at shows. We would just shoot the shit. We'd grab a drink, just say what's up. Just always had a really good kind of connection with him. And for like 3 years, he had mentioned that he had boys. And he was like really proud of them. You know, they're chefs. They're doing this catering thing, super talented. And it only hit me about 18 months ago that we saw him at a show and he's like, yeah, you know, the Servis boys, like that's my boys. They're my kids, you know? So we had this conversation then and I was like, man, we got to sit down and have them on the show. I got to meet these guys. We're kindred spirits. We're bros. Like we're just building creative stuff here in Bucks County. I can't wait to dive into this and hear your story and just go into a million things. So start from the top. Tell everybody first kind of who you are. A lot of Bucks County knows who you are because you've fed a lot of the community. But take me from the top, man. So it seems like, you know, you guys have been doing this for about 5-6 years with the business, but take me back to the beginning. How'd this whole thing get started?
So the story we kind of tell at our events, we always start all the events by kind of telling the guests about some of this stuff to give the background. But Nick and I went to culinary arts at MBIT, Middle Bucks Institute of Technology, right over here off York Road. And the only reason why we chose to go to MBIT was that in middle school, you found out that going there in high school, it just gave you one less hour of school a day. And like that was the selling point, man. Like you got a break from 10:40 to 11:30, then you were done school at 2:15 and not 2:30. And I was like, that sounds badass. How can we do that?
Brilliant.
Yep.
And then culinary just sounded the most fun. You know, we joke around and we kick ourselves that we should have done electrical or HVAC or welding, but I wouldn't change it for anything. We had amazing chef instructors. It was the best mistake we ever made.
Yeah.
But it just got us really excited. Our first time working together, getting pride in things that we did. We were also musicians before we went to culinary school.
Oh, were you really?
We played like heavy metal music and stuff like that.
No kidding. What did you play?
I played drums. He played bass and guitar.
Yeah.
Oh, let's go.
And but we always say, you know, in the story, no one said, especially our parents, no one said good job when you played music they hated hearing. And we played like really hardcore music.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so it's cool to go to culinary school and get praise from the things that you did and kind of like the good job, guys, you know?
Creative praise. How about that?
Yeah.
And
It was
so
the first time ever.
So that kind of like
wild.
lit the fire in us. You know, started getting jobs in restaurants, doing the whole thing. Did that for about 10 to 12 years. I was at Slate Blue right in Doylestown before COVID started. Nick was the executive chef of Ardena or Ardana, people call it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah,
man.
I helped build that with the family of Casey Prime.
Yeah. No, we know Michael really well.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
our kids
yeah.
go to the same school. Shout out to the
Okay,
Christos.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to the
We
Christos.
love
They're
those guys.
Amazing,
So,
amazing family.
Yeah.
So Nick designed that whole thing, opened it with them, went through the whole process. At the events, we don't get into too much of this anymore, but we'll tell you for kind of story's sake. They had a guest who'd come into the restaurant 4 or 5 times a week. Her and Nick got pretty close, and she asked him if he would do like a private event for her.
Oh, cool.
Kind of cook privately. He thought at the time she meant, does the restaurant do private events?
Yeah.
So we kind of
Gotcha.
said, hey, you know, we'll grab a manager, we'll do paperwork, we'll figure it out for you, blah, blah, blah. And she jokes that she kind of pulled him in a little closer and was like, no. Do you do private events?
Wow.
I want you to cook in my house. And at this time, you know, he was so busy doing 100 hours a week, sleeping in the coat closet on weekends. So he's like, oh, I'm so grateful you asked me that, but like I don't have time to do it. You know, didn't tell her that, but in the back of his mind was like, there's no way.
Yeah.
And then I was trying to kind of get out of Slate Blue at the time. I was about my 2-year tenured, as you do as chefs in restaurants. And so I was trying to leave and go somewhere else. In this area, in our kind of opinions, there's not a ton of restaurants to go to.
Right.
And so I didn't know what to do, didn't know where to go. And he came home and mentioned this. Like, hey, dude, like this woman asked me today if I'd cook for her privately, blah, blah, blah.
Wow.
And at the time, we talked about, like, what would our LLC name be? I was like, I was like, you know, give me her information. I can follow up with her, you know, whatever. And he said the same thing of, like, dude, I'm so busy. I don't even want to think about this.
No way.
How, like, at the time, too, it was so foreign of, like, how would we prep it? Whose plates do we use? Do we stay in the restaurant overnight to get it done? Like,
Yeah, like you didn't have a business plan. It just kind of came opportunistically to you, right?
How does this even work? And so that was probably like the 2nd or 3rd week in February of 2020.
I feel like it was like February 19th.
Yeah.
And then COVID hit March 15th.
The week later, 2 weeks later. Oh my God.
And so, you know, we talked about it a little bit, got swept back into work, didn't really think of it again. COVID came, shut us down, just like everybody. You know, we were told 2 weeks to a month, you can't come to work. Now, for us, especially for Nick, this kind of felt like, you know, was this happening for us?
Yeah.
We've never been off for 2 weeks before. I've never
I just
been
got
off
chills
for a
thinking
month.
about
Yeah,
that, how the
never.
world works, man. It's
But-
crazy.
Yep.
In the joking sense, like we've never been told you can't come to work.
Yeah.
So we kind of felt like, you know, this is happening for us, especially for him. He was so overwhelmed at the time,
Yeah.
so busy. The biggest problem they had was the restaurant was too busy,
Like,
which
we
is a
had-
great problem.
It was amazing. So it was like Warrington native opens Warrington restaurant with local family. So it was like a huge, I guess, you know, PR,
yeah.
everything.
I was living in Warrington when it first
Oh,
opened,
okay,
and
yeah.
we had known the Christos for
Yeah.
a long time.
So
and,
perfect.
You know,
So it was
I remember
rock-
that.
it was
we were,
rocking.
we were rocking and rolling from day one. You
Yeah.
know, and it was tough.
So this came, shut us down. Both couldn't work, and we kind of joke around that we had a goal at the time of just could we drink 1,000 beers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good to set goals for yourself.
Yeah,
That's
man,
good.
dude. I
And
gotta have big goals.
So again, like seriously, but like, you know, in all seriousness, like we just didn't want to do anything because we spent the last 10 years just grinding, you
Yeah.
know? And so
We were a big no sleep team. I'll sleep when I'm dead.
yeah,
You know,
which is irresponsible.
Yeah.
But
Oh, yeah.
so, you know,
That's
at home,
It comes with the territory of being creative,
Yes,
man.
it
Like
does.
if there's no, your mind is just constantly
man.
processing. I
Yeah.
feel like there's a frequency that weirdos like us kind of tap into,
Mhm.
and if you're doing it right, your creative people are typically. You're more empathetic, but you're also more like in your own head constantly because you're just constantly finding that frequency of like you're like sensory overloaded all times and trying to tap into other people's energy and like feel it and read it, and you're trying to process it. So I have the same thing. Even late at night, I'll like replay the entire day and just like try to break it down, and I need like 2 hours to like come down from a social experience.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
It's just the way our weird brains are wired. you know?
Yeah.
so we're at home drinking 1,000 beers, and
What was the beer of choice, by the way?
PBR. Always. Only.
Yeah,
I have a
tattoo,
fucking PBR
yeah.
tattoo.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
love it.
It's our favorite.
So doing that, hanging out, about a month into this, you know, we all realized, hey, we're going to be here longer than we were kind of initially told. And around this month period, we just started having the conversation, you know, of the idea of skills being perishable. You know, if you don't use them, you lose them. And we touch on at our dinners, it's not just the physical culinary skill, but the mental toughness, the self-motivation, the grit, the creativity. You build when you work in these very high-pace, high-stress, kind of thankless environments like a restaurant kitchen. We were some of the last probably generations who came up when you were allowed to get yelled at. You know, chefs were allowed to scream at you.
Yeah.
Like they were throwing things in the kitchens. Like they were very hostile environments.
It was awesome.
Which is what we fell in love with, honestly.
You sort of thrive in the chaos if you're
exactly.
you know,
My chin tattoo says embrace the chaos.
Yeah.
we're just gonna tell stories
Yeah.
about your tattoos today. I mean, it's a good place to start.
Yeah.
So we felt like we were becoming softer, lazier, losing some of that edge, you know, we kind of built up. And just around this time we had this conversation, it just so happened we watched this documentary one night on Hulu called The Biggest Little Farm. And we got so inspired by this. If you're listening to this, I recommend checking it out, especially if you have young kids in your life. Now, I'm sure how old your kids are. But it's amazing to watch the family together. And we just got so inspired by it that I said, hey, man, I'm going to look into the wolfing program again. Now, at the time, he was doing a day or so a week still at the restaurant.
Okay.
Slate Blue did nothing. They are not a takeout restaurant. I remember them sitting us down before we shut down saying, hey, we are not a week-to-week restaurant either. We can shut down for a few months. You also have a job. Everybody can come back to work, but we're not going to do anything. So I was doing nothing. He was still doing a day or so at the restaurant. Watched this documentary, became so inspired by it. I turned to him and said, hey, man, I'm going to look into the wolfing program again. So when I was 21, I volunteered at this farm called Quarry Hill Farm in Harleysville.
Okay.
Just trying to get a job at the Mainland Inn restaurant. This was like the first fully organic, fully farm-to-table restaurant I heard of in this area. It's kind of like Quarry Hill Farm presents the Mainland Inn. It's like their sister restaurant.
That's cool.
And applied to the restaurant, applied to the volunteer page. I always joke, of course, the volunteer page answered first, you know?
Yeah. Free help? Sure.
Exactly.
We'll pick that call up.
So,
yeah.
so I went, I volunteered, and they all knew I was a chef and kind of why I was there. But they kept using the word woofer. He's a woofer. He's a woofer. There's two woofers kind of out in the field.
What does that word mean?
And so WOOF is Worldwide Opportunities on Organic Farms. WWOOF.
Okay.
And they pitched this to me then as a way to travel for free. So you offer your work and you get free housing or free food from the farmer or the wolf host that you stay with. Now, Sloan had 2 or 3 woofers on her farm. At this time, we didn't have the time or the money or the confidence in ourselves to go do something like it. It sounded very foreign to live with a stranger, to not make money while you lived with them.
Yeah.
And at this time, we were still very just into becoming like the ruthless chefs.
Yeah.
I didn't have all the culinary skill yet. The farming stuff wasn't quite in our wheelhouse. We just wanted to cook with nice ingredients in a restaurant.
Okay.
So I volunteered at the farm, got to go to the restaurant. I did what's called a stage. A stagiaire means you work for free in restaurants. And so I worked for free in the morning. I worked for free in the afternoon. And then I got a job offer that day. Worked there for almost 2 years. I brought in Nick, and that's where we really, really learned about this hyper-local, hyper-seasonal cooking. You know, that's what they did at the restaurant.
Yeah.
And then also the food is medicine philosophy. The owner of this restaurant only opened it because she beat breast cancer by changing her diet, eating more organic, and she wanted a place to showcase how powerful food could be.
No kidding,
Now, at this
man.
time, they just built the Somethingtown bypass that took all of the cars off of Mainland Road around the restaurant. So the whole 2 years we were there, it was essentially an uphill battle.
Damn.
Restaurant ended up shutting down.
Yeah.
But, you know, it was the best experience we ever had. Fast forward, you know, 5 or 6 years later, we're at home with money saved up, with time because we cannot work, now confidence in ourselves and our abilities. So I said, hey, man, if you're willing to do this, you know, I know you just made it to executive chef. That's what we've been trying to climb the ladder for the last 10 years.
Yeah.
But if you're willing to kind of walk away from that, I'll go through the process to figure out if we can go do this wolfing thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so we started applying to farms on this wolfing website that just said available immediately all over the country, you know, California, Oregon, Idaho, New Mexico, Maine. And at the time, it was May of 2020. We were going to drive to wherever it was. One, we had nothing else to do. I was not getting on a plane in May. And then the biggest point, honestly, was I was not getting stuck with a family we hated.
Yeah.
So if we wanted to like sneak away at 2 a.m. and drive home, I wanted to be able to do so. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
And which sounds funny, but like serious, I was not getting stuck with anybody.
Yeah.
And so it just so happened, we don't believe in coincidence, everything happens for a reason. The family in Maine answered first. They were the closest family we applied to. We always touch on like, it'd be great to go to California, learn all about growing lemons,
Sure,
but I can't
yeah.
come home and grow lemons here. So
Right.
everything we grew in Maine, we can grow here in Bucks County.
Yep.
And so we went to go live with this family for 4 months and did a whole Zoom interview with them and everything. And when we got there, the husband, especially Harold, he opened up to us and started telling us that they didn't want us coming there because of our appearance. Now, we like to laugh and joke that we know
Really?
how we look. You know, we're covered in tattoos and dreadlocks and piercings for anybody listening.
We gotta know what it brings.
Yeah.
But, you know, they've never had people like us in their house before. And he was in a hard health spot at the time, so he was like bedridden the whole 2 months we ended up staying. But we came, they kind of put it beside them because they kind of knew they you know, needed help. Put it beside them. They let us come. We became their best friends. We knocked down all of their walls. We made them more money than any of the Wolfer had in one summer. We have our wolfing numbers tattooed on us.
Yep.
We're the 208th and 209th Wolfers at their house.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah.
Where are those
on our
tattoos?
shoulders.
We have the black cap chickadee, which is the main state bird,
Yeah.
and then the number under it.
Yeah.
That is
So,
so
yeah,
cool.
we both have it on, I guess, our left shoulders. Or
Yeah.
something.
And
Yeah.
so that was cool. And so while we were there, we shared the idea we had of doing these in-home dinners with the family. And again, the husband especially, he really grabbed onto it. And every time we would sit down next to his bed, he just had a different idea. He had a different concept. He helped us do numbers, helped us do a plan.
Wow.
He was one who said, you must tell your story at all your events. I didn't want you coming here. And after meeting you, I'd write you a contract to live here for forever. And
Oh my God.
so then we always touch on after that kind of stuff, how like coming to the table with the 5 Wolfers and the 5 family members, how having food and being on the table is what opened us all up.
Yeah.
It's what made you ask more personal questions. You heard more personal stories. We always highlight at the dinners, yeah, it's cool to eat new food, to try new things, to see cool techniques, but it's really just about this.
Yeah.
About just being together, being present.
Yep.
Then we always touch on how we saw farm to table differently there, of where we kind of say there's no farm to table market. It's just food. That's kind of how it should be.
That's interesting.
Should be.
Yeah.
It should just be
At
called
least
food.
in Maine, where we were at, it being so rural and so out there was no farm to table market or restaurant. Every restaurant used farm food.
So it was just a
It was
restaurant.
just food.
Yeah, it was
food.
just how they
And
went
man,
about
like,
it.
how
you
it
know,
is.
we always joke and like you would never call my grandmom's garden organic, but it is like food should be labeled modified.
Yeah.
Like food should just be organic. Like it should just be food. You know, you should say, oh no, this is genetically modified, or no, this is processed.
Right.
Like
Or this is sprayed or
our
whatever.
Yeah.
our typical standard or acceptance of food is just that it comes processed.
It's just processed.
Yeah.
And anything not has
Is
to
the
be
standard.
labeled. Yeah. So like it's
Yeah.
kind of bullshit in that sense of like,
Yeah.
so whatever, just food. Saw it differently there of how everything was so close. We knew Barbara the cheesemaker, spent a day with her. Tony the family butcher, spent a day butchering pigs for the family with him. All our vegetables came from their farm. We made our own breads, pickles, jellies, pig fat soaps. We sew dish rags. Every single event we do, we have like 6 versions now of aprons sewn by the wife of the farm.
No kidding, man.
So we're always wearing new ones sewn by her, which is amazing. The first version ever, if you go back to our first post we ever did, one's a striped one, one's a paisley one. We sewed those ones.
No kidding.
Yeah.
And just
How long does that take you to do?
That took us a couple days.
That took us when we were living up there, and again, we had nothing else to do.
Right.
That probably took us 4 or 5 days.
Yeah.
Just to do that, and they were horrible.
And we beat the shit out of them. We wore them to literally every event for probably 2.5 years when we first started.
Yeah.
Just as the way like these aprons were sewn from us, blah blah blah. So
you should like hang them in the rafters, man, and like
we're gonna have shadow boxes.
We're gonna shadow box them or something. Yeah, something
like a title
that.
banner for
Yeah.
like a championship.
So
Something like that.
Yeah.
So whatever, we saw all these things, saw how like Maine offered all these things, how close it was, and then we realized we have it all here in Bucks County.
Yeah.
We just have more convenience. We have more distractions. We always joke about Del Val's an agricultural college. We live in a center of agriculture.
Yeah, I mean,
why are we not practicing more of it?
One of our good friends, Jason Vermeer, is the construction company that's revamping the Burpee Seed House.
Yes.
Right in Del Val.
Yep.
Like that's in
like
Bucks
that's here.
County.
It's all here.
in Doylestown,
That seed
yeah.
company birthed out of Warminster
Exactly.
and grew its literally its roots from this town. You know?
Yeah.
So we kind of came back and we nowadays we made a very conscious decision that anything we serve on the menu, we must know where it's coming from, how it's being grown, who's handling it. Obviously, in every circumstance, we can't check off all of those boxes always. So if we can't, we buy from privately owned grocery stores, privately owned businesses. When our money's going to you, it actually goes to you, not getting 14 cents on the dollar back to the orange farmer in California. So when we do our events, as we go through the meals, we explain where it's coming from, techniques we use, health benefits we're aware of. The farm names are on the menu at every course. Those stay with you when we leave, so you can like go back and shop from them if you want. We offer like farm lists and vendor lists of like who we're shopping from to all guests after they have dinner with us.
Wow, man, that's amazing.
Yeah. So we're 5 years in now, and it's just been rocking and rolling.
Yeah.
That's insane, man. There's something cool about Maine though that so my first entrepreneurial venture, I guess, when I was 23, we started a shoe company.
Yeah.
And we were making golf shoes because we were all terrible golfers, but like all in our khakis and our corporate stuffy jobs first getting out of school. We wanted to create golf shoes that had more of like an American heritage to them. So we found 2 factories up in Maine. One was in Bangor, one was in Brewer, literally right across the river from each other.
Really?
So we were going up there like once a month to go meet the people at the factory. And this is 2000 and, oh my God, 10,
Okay.
2009 maybe.
Okay.
And this is like Shopify wasn't really a thing yet. Instagram wasn't really a thing yet. But I was like, man, there's something cool up here that like these stories have to be told.
Yeah, dude.
So we would like, rent a cheap camera at the time because, the iPhone cameras were garbage. But so we would go up there with film crews and like film the people at every station making our shoes for us.
Damn.
And at that point, I kind of caught the bug of like, all these things, storytelling, these amazing American craftsmen, like doing stuff with your hands and making things,
Yeah.
But that had such an impact on me, that culture there, because every time we went out, and you guys know this from living there, it's not like around here where things like stay open and it's hustle and bustle.
Yeah.
Like at sundown, the town shuts
Yeah.
down.
They would say, which was always cool. The contractors, whatever, like, hey, I'll help you build your house. But at 3 o'clock, we go fishing.
Yeah.
And we're done. We're done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I
amazing
love
to
that.
think,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's amazing to think that just because we're in this pocket of like, pressure and stress and hustle bustle in the Northeast, it doesn't mean that you go, 5 hours north or 5 hours west or whatever, and that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Like, that's most of what America is.
Yeah.
man.
It's what it should be.
It's what 100% what it should be.
Yeah.
And it's cool. It sounds like you guys took a lot of those learnings and like applied them,
Yes.
but then tried to put the Bucks County spin on it.
Yeah.
Yep.
So what is it about Bucks County that like when you first had that idea, you're like, holy shit, we can actually do this at home?
Sure.
Was it the farmers, the ingredients, the relationships? Like what were the things that gave you confidence here that you were able to take that?
I think it was just growing up here our whole lives. We knew a lot of the farms. We knew that it could be done. Having Castle Valley Mill being a flour company,
That place is
we
unbelievable.
love
Yeah.
the whole Fisher family. They're absolutely amazing. So knowing we have a mill,
Yep.
we grew up by Winding Brook Farm, one of the biggest dairy farms, at least when we were growing up.
Yeah.
Like we would grow vegetables with our grandmom. Like we knew we had all of this. We just didn't know where to find it, but we knew if we just came back from this, we could find it all.
Yeah.
Because growing up, you're stuck behind tractors driving to school.
Yeah.
You know, like all this
So you
other
know it's
shit.
that
Like
you see it.
So you see it. Like we saw our whole lives, but never put two and two together that like it could actually be done.
Yeah.
It also really helped that all we've done in our adult lives is Lisa's cook.
Yeah.
So like we've already kind of had, I don't want to say a following, but people knew we were chefs. We're either the twins or the chefs or the boys or whatever. And so people kind of knew we were already doing this whole world.
Yeah.
When we said we're going to start doing our own thing, a lot of people said it's kind of about time. And honestly, dude, one of the biggest things, the money's here.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can't sort of sleep on that aspect. So for anyone creative like us, I feel the same way with music.
Yeah.
You know, like we can go, like we were saying, we can go to Florida, we can go to Nashville, South Carolina to play these shows, but there's enough here to be able to sustain a creative career.
Yeah.
If you show up on time, do the stuff we were talking about before
Put
the
the work
show.
in.
Yeah, you have to treat a creative career like a business. You can't
100%.
just show up and think, I'm a guitar player. I just want to go play my guitar as loud as I can. It's like, it doesn't really work that way.
No.
Like you have to run your operation as if, you know, there's a P&L, you have to get your LLC filed. Like there's basic stuff. But once you overcome that hurdle, I've found that you take more care of it and think of it differently.
Yeah.
It's like I'm in total control of my own destiny in my career, even though it's a creative thing and it's, you know, there's not like a course, you know, or there's not a class in school that's going to teach you how to do this a lot of times. And you guys have sort of done that. Like you had an idea and you just ran with it.
I mean, it's kind of like even what you just said. I think for the first 2 years we were doing this, no bank account.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we had our
Really?
LLC and our insurance and everything just to cover our asses and
Yeah,
everything.
yeah.
But like everything we had was written down on pen and paper.
I still
Like,
have it. Yeah.
You still have it.
Do you
Like,
really?
We would highlight anything that would have a paper trail.
Yeah.
So we knew like what we had to file on our taxes and stuff like that. And just like we started with this amount on this date. We bought this here from this place. Here's the receipt that goes with it.
Yeah.
This came in. We highlighted it 'cause it came in from Venmo or it came from QuickBooks. Like
Right.
this is cash. So like,
Yeah.
don't highlight that. You know.
Yeah.
And
But
like
you know,
we did it for like 2 years.
it
and
was
it's a
like
packet.
kind of like what you're saying. We just wanted to keep cooking during the pandemic and we didn't know what to do. And then like 2 years in, we're like, this is paying our bills and we're paying our taxes with this. We should probably take this seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This isn't just a creative outlet for us.
Right.
This actually is
It's a real
a
business.
tangible something that, you know, we can make a living off of.
Yeah.
You know, and once we kind of did that and once we put full-time effort into it, full-time business came from it. You know what I
Wow.
mean? Like,
Yeah.
We tell people a lot of that stuff. Like we talk like at career days and, you know, we do a number of podcasts and stuff. And we always kind of tell people when we first started it, we were working for a family friend, Kenny Godfrey for Godfrey Landscaping. Anytime we were in between things, he would always give us work, you know, amazing dude. And so we were just splitting wood in the mornings from like 6 a.m. to like 10 a.m. or 12 or something like that. And springtime was starting to come and like we were getting a little busier with just getting it going. And it was like, hey man, like I can't come in this day. I can't come in this day. And he was kind of like, well, like when springtime comes, are you gonna like be more like unreliable and whatever? And I was like, I fucking hope so.
Yeah.
Kind of, you know?
That's the goal.
Yeah.
You know?
But so like, you know, when people tell you like, hey, it takes forever to business to start, you're not gonna get it for 3 to 5 years, blah, blah, blah. Like we were kind of like, I don't believe that. So fortunately for us, I was like, hey dude, our relationship means more than like the $100 I make a week.
Wow.
Yeah.
We're just gonna stop working for you and we're just gonna go all in more quicker than we should have.
Yeah.
And again, in doing so, I think giving the full-time commitment, you know, God of the universe gave us the full-time business.
Yeah.
You know
Amazing,
what I mean?
man.
Yeah.
Yeah, what the hardest thing is, and people talk a lot about this, podcasts or whatever, and I've been fortunate to have really good mentors over the years, and the consistent thing when you're starting something is betting on yourself. But I've always equated this to betting on yourself isn't the same as gambling. It's an investment.
Yeah.
And they're two very different things. You guys were calculated, you were prepared, you had each other,
Yep.
you know, you were pushing each other, you had the right mindset. Like, what would your advice be to someone who maybe is like, has that creative outlet, but they haven't made the jump to the business thing yet?
Sure.
Like, where were you guys?
Well, I think
what was your
everybody gives
experience?
us a little more credit because we were not calculated.
Oh no.
And we are not like dialed. Like we didn't do a business plan beforehand. We didn't do
Yeah.
like, hey, if we charge this, we'll make this. Like it was just like, let's charge enough that we know will make us money. That is like what you would see in the average tasting menu restaurant.
Yep.
And let's just go with excellent service and
Yeah.
let's provide everything.
Kind of like
And,
we were saying before we started, like just being personable, going
Yeah.
above and beyond, just going the extra mile without being asked for it.
Yeah.
You know, I would say though, to answer your question, for anybody who wants to jump in or anything, jump in.
Yeah.
if you're waiting until you know everything, you're never going to start.
That's great advice,
That's like
man.
the
It's
best,
so true.
the biggest thing. That's what we saw when we started. We didn't know what an LLC was or how to do an email campaign or build websites or do accounting or open up a QuickBooks account and categorize everything. But we know all of it now.
It's all different now, but I built the first website completely, did all the links for it.
Yeah.
Like I built the email campaigns, do the email lists. Like you said, we didn't know any of this.
Yeah.
We were back of the house, trained chefs, like
Straight
we
pirates.
Yeah.
That's
You
it.
know?
Just fucking ruthless line dogs.
Yeah.
We have to be like, that's the thing that people don't realize is you have to run through a river of shit that you don't understand.
Yeah.
Yep.
But-
and we still do.
But
every day.
correct. But that's the whole point. Like if you're building something, there's going to be a whole awareness thing that you have to. There's known knowns and known unknowns.
Yeah.
Like you
Yes.
have to be aware of. You know, these are my known knowns. I know how to cook. I feel confident about that. But my known unknowns are QuickBooks, websites,
Yep.
email campaigns. I know what I don't know.
Yes.
But you were confident enough to be like, you know what, fuck it, man. We're gonna strap up.
Yeah.
We're gonna figure this out. Because if we don't do it, who else is gonna do it? For us?
exactly. I always say to my wife, I don't know what I don't know.
Correct.
So if you can help me know this or understand this better, we can all move on for better things. We kind
Exactly.
of took the same approach. Like, I don't know what I don't know, so let's figure it out.
Yep.
Let's learn. We're not, maybe both of us too, I'm not afraid to look like the moron.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid to say, hey, I don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
Or I don't know this thing. Can you show me? You guys do social media. I don't really know how to do it that great. Can you guys show us? Like, I have no problem saying, hey, I'm a moron.
Yeah.
I
Treat me as such
Yeah.
so I can learn.
100%.
You know?
I said we literally had an all hands team meeting yesterday, and it was the same thing. Like, I know my limitations, even running this business. You know, I'm not a great like process operations guy, like accounting. I job all that out, but I try to find the best people that I trust that I can build a relationship with. And the worst thing you can do as a leader, and you guys know this, is hire people or bring people on and then tell them what to do.
Oh, dude.
You know, it's
Yep.
like, what kind of an ego do you have to do that? It's like,
Yep.
I'm bringing you on because I recognize there's a gap in
Exactly.
what my skill set
Yeah,
is.
'cause I don't know
Tell me
this.
what to do.
Yes.
Teach me.
Yeah.
You know, I just want to learn and try to
Yeah,
be a
man.
better servant to the people we work
Every
with.
time we've ever had a videographer or somebody come, we're always like, you do your thing and tell us what you want. You can come and work around us. We can work around you. Like, you're not in our way. Don't
Right.
feel like you're in our way. This is your expertise.
Yeah.
We hired you for this reason.
Correct.
I'm not going to tell you, hey, film this. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how your camera angles look or what it looks like from there. Like, this is your job.
Yeah.
I cook the food. You make the videos.
Yeah, you make
Like,
the videos.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same, man. But the one thing that when you're building a team like that, and it's cool that you guys have done this, it's like you talk about your wife saying like, I don't know how to do this, just
Yeah.
help me, and we'll all get to this point.
Yeah.
For me, it always comes back to, well, why? You know, like, why are we doing this?
Yep.
You know, what bet are you making
Yep.
on yourself? And just being really crystal clear about what the vision is. And I think that's where a lot of leaders fail is, you know, they're not bringing people back to like the ethos of why this thing exists.
Yep.
And for you guys, like, what is that?
Well, the biggest why is the community, the helping get people like off the beaten path to these farms that we're going to.
Yeah.
Teaching about sustainable eating practices, how it's better for us, it's better for your body, you can be healthier, it's better for our local economy, it's better for everybody in our community. You know, we see nowadays everybody's sick and tired of being sick and tired kind of thing.
Yeah,
And so it's like
that's the truth.
like our why is like helping you break out of that system.
Yeah.
Helping you break out of just going to the grocery store for your food. Like helping you be like, how come I feel sick when I eat all these things? You know what I'm saying? And so it was like starting by having healthier food choices in a nice fine dining way, and then connecting people to, you know, to the community and all of the people in our environment who kind of bring it to you.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
what I mean? Get it to your
also
table.
trying to like preserve these farms. I know
Yeah.
we've all seen the like, what is it, 8 million farms have gone out of business in the last 20 years or whatever, you know, the numbers are. Like, if we don't have farms, we don't have food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, we're just trying to tell and show the guests, hey, just because we're chefs doesn't mean we have special treatment going to these places. Farmers make money and survive by you buying their food.
Correct.
Not just chefs buying their food, by everybody buying their food.
We saw like the first podcast we ever did. It was called Bucks County Bites, and it was like when we were first getting started. I remember the girl asked us like, "Hey, you know, what was it like sourcing for you in the pandemic?"
Yeah.
Now, when she was asking that question, we weren't in business yet. We were still living in Maine when she was like hypothetically asking about it. I was like, "Okay, I don't have an answer for that, but if I could take a swing at the question, I would say it would have been easy. Of where, not saying you particularly, but use you as an example, where in the pandemic, you went to the grocery store and saw there were no eggs, no onions, and you panicked saying, oh my God, the whole world's out of eggs and onions. We always joked that chickens still ate eggs during the pandemic.
Yeah.
Tomato plants still grew, onions still grew, but nobody thought of just going to the farm 20 minutes down the road.
Yeah.
They just said everything is out and we don't have any of these things. And it was like, we knew farmers at the time who double planted fields, who bought walk-ins, who like expanded their business and honestly lost it all because nobody came.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like we've during that time I remember trying to do more of that.
Yeah.
And you know, Ryan Coleman from Coleman Hay Farms.
Damn,
Dude,
you know that?
we buy all of our hay and straw and cows
From the
Colemans.
Colemans.
Oh, do you really?
We graduated.
Ryan's a good friend of
we
ours,
graduated
yeah.
with Sean Coleman.
Yeah.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Shout out to Ryan and Coleman Hay
Yeah,
Farms.
shout out the whole
Yeah.
Coleman family,
They're
man.
great people,
Yeah,
man.
love those guys.
But I remember at one point, like Ryan was doing almost like a chicken share. Like he would, you know, they would raise a little bit and then, you know, do their thing. But, you know, even just as a, you know, someone in the community, I felt like a lot of people at that time were kind of looking for some kind of alternative
Yes.
choice than going to the store for the supply reason.
Yeah. I feel like it's also great going off exactly that. Once you have the Coleman's chickens, you're not eating
You're
present chicken
never
again.
going, dude.
No.
They're
Like,
insane.
So
Bro.
once you
The soup, you could like everything. You can
once
make with
you
those things.
have this local farm raised meat, you know, eggs, dairy, produce, you're never going to go back to the
Never.
other shit.
No,
Like,
Yeah.
so it was almost like the Great Awakening, I guess if you want to call it, for better food.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, like we kind of joked the pandemic was great for that reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was super shitty, don't get me wrong, and it fucked a lot of people. But I'm hoping on the other side of it, we come out a lot better as a society. You
I
know?
totally agree. I can attribute our music career to COVID.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah. I was, you know, take you back to when I was 17 or 18 years old. Like I was playing in, you know, I was a drummer in like emo and punk bands.
Yeah.
And then I was writing songs for a publisher in Nashville as a, you know, they were country songs. Cause
Yeah.
I like, you know, whatever your music taste is, like I grew up on, met my wife over like Kenny Chesney, Zach
Yep.
Brown, Eric Church, those guys. And when I heard Chris Stapleton for the first time, I can tell you exactly where I was in the moment. I was on YouTube. This is right before the pandemic. I was looking for the guy that wrote my favorite Kenny Chesney song, which is Never Wanted Nothing More, if you guys know that song. And Chris Stapleton had written it, but it was before he was an artist. He
Yeah.
was just writing songs. And I saw this, I'm going to get choked up thinking about it. I was watching this video of him in a bar. It was an Italian restaurant playing Never Wanted Nothing More.
Yep.
And I was like, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done. Like, that's it. And during the pandemic, like a year later, I remember, you know, like everybody else, the world was shut down. You know, we're social guys.
Yeah,
like
100%.
I can't go see people. I can't do my job. I can't be in front of people. I can't perform.
Yep.
And it shut everything down. But I saw that video and my wife like came over and she saw me on the couch. I was drinking whiskey at the time and saw me react to that video.
Yeah.
And she's like, what's the matter? I was like, nothing.
Yeah.
Like, this is it. I
Yeah.
just found my purpose again,
Mhm.
you know? And,
It's awesome, dude.
It's fucking
you know,
amazing, man.
she told me, she's like, you need to find a way to work. I'm going to lose it talking
Let's
about
go,
this.
dude.
Love it, dude.
You need to find a way to work music back into your life because you're a better person when you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And
Yes,
without
sir.
having that partner in that moment, I would not be doing this right now.
Yeah.
Amazing,
It's
dude.
amazing,
Amen to
man.
that, dude.
Dude.
So it sounds like you guys had kind of a similar experience during COVID.
Yeah.
It like
Yep.
reset, shut you down, and made you like
I
focus
had a friend of
internal.
ours I met in restaurants, and we don't talk as much now, but it was he started a little honey business at the time. And I remember him saying to us, you know, what COVID did was it separated the hustlers from the lazy people.
Mm-hmm.
You had the opportunity
you're
to
definitely
sit,
right about
you
that.
had the opportunity to sit at home and collect money, which we did. We got a bunch of unemployment money. That's how we even got to go live in Maine for, you know, a couple months. But it was like you could have sat home and collected all this money and really done nothing.
Bought a handbag or something. You know?
We were
Yeah.
actually going to go buy
Use
the
your $2,000 COVID credit
Yeah.
for something
Well,
lavish.
we were actually
but-
going to go buy like a Honda Ruckus.
Yeah.
I got approved for the lease and everything.
Yeah.
And instead, we wrote a 4-month rent check and went and lived in Maine. But it was like you could have stayed home and done nothing, sat on the couch and watched YouTube videos, or you could have like been inspired and changed everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And started a whole new
It
life.
took. I feel like a lot of people. You either had that awakening and it changed the course of your life fundamentally, which
Yeah.
it did for me.
Yep. Or
'Cause
you're
at
still
that
wearing
moment-
a mask.
What's that?
Or you're still wearing a mask.
Oh, correct. Yeah. You know, but literally that moment, I was like, fuck, like, you're right. This is what I'm, whether, you know, people like our music or not, like, I just felt compelled at that moment. I'm like, Linz, you know me, like I only know one fucking speed.
Yep.
If you're telling me if you recognize that in me, you've known me for 20 years.
Yeah.
And I think you're right, but I'm gonna run through a goddamn brick wall with you by my side.
Yeah.
You know, and that's when we played 120 shows that following year with no relationships. We showed up in Nashville for the first time. I'm like, here's my catalog of songs that I've written over the past 15 years.
Yeah.
You know, we started doing co-writes and meeting publishers, and within 18 months, we signed a label deal, management and publishing.
Damn.
Congratulations.
And, played almost 500 shows in the first 3 years.
Holy shit. It's amazing.
To the detriment of, my poor wife who's sitting at home with 2 young kids.
Yeah.
But, the point is, like, it took that moment of pause and reflection to course correct. But, 5 years later, I can literally attribute that moment to us sitting in this room right now.
We had somebody ask us last week, like, if the pandemic never happened, do you think this would have happened? Like, no. The pandemic was the only reason we ever got a chance to sit back and say, what have we just been doing for the last 10 years?
Yeah.
Like, what have we been giving? What were the sacrifices we were making? Is it worth our life? And that was the first time where it was like, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Like, I'm working for other people who, when it comes down to it, we'll just fucking find somebody else. Like, what are we really doing here? You're putting in 80 plus hours of work a week. You're not seeing friends. We've missed every holiday, graduation, grandma's birthday, cousin's graduation, Easter, you name it. Birthday, everything.
Yep.
For 13 years. For everybody in our family.
Wow.
I never went to dinner with my wife. Never fucking spent New Year's with them. No Thanksgiving. No Christmas Eves. No Easters. No Father's Day. No Mother's Day. No anything like that. Like, so we're like, what are we doing?
Is that worth the amount of time and effort you're putting in?
Exactly. So it was the first time where we got to like reflect on like, what is this life? Is this what we're supposed to be doing? I don't think anybody's supposed to be doing that.
No. No, it was an amazing kind of a reset for a lot of people that I know, and a lot of creative people sort of had that awakening, and it birthed a lot of stuff like this, which is I'm super grateful for.
Yeah.
So the one thing you said, which is interesting, like going from that time when, you were going to Coleman Hay Farms or going to, seeking out these like, alternative means of food. Have you felt like that sort of tapered off, or do you feel like people are still sustaining, kind of seeking out, those farms or local stuff?
I think if anything, it's getting just bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
Like we see, and I think we're a good help with it. We've seen the farms that we work with from 5 years ago literally expand over the last 5 years.
That's awesome.
I don't want to say it's because we're telling thousands of people about it, but like our dairy farmer, our raw dairy farmer, Michaela Fulper of Fresh Start Farm, it's the one I could think about the most. We tried to go into her, and she was like just barely getting started. Now she's selling out of milk like every week.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Like we know hundreds of people who now go to her after having our food. Like
that's
so it's
awesome.
so cool to see that it's constantly growing. People want to have their own chickens.
Yeah.
They want to know where their lamb's coming from. They want to know where their beef's coming from. Just like us, we now raise our own cows.
Yeah.
Because I want to know where it's coming from.
Right.
I want to see them every day. I want to know what they're being fed. Like I don't think that train's ever slowing down.
I do
That's
think
awesome.
I do think that like it ebbs and flows as like the things that come into the headlines and the politics that go into it all and all that kind of stuff. Like for whatever anybody's thing is, like I think RFK is a good dude. I think he has our best interests in mind.
Yep.
Turning the food pyramid upside down is like, so you're telling me for my entire life we've been told the exact opposite?
Yeah. Like bread and processed foods.
Bread and grains are the biggest thing.
What is health? Like so I think like it does ebb and flow of like people get like when he first came in, they were pushing for the raw milk stuff. Like all we heard about was like raw dairy and frying everything in beef tallow and all that kind of stuff. And that had like a good last summer, I say that was like a big trend.
Yeah.
Where I feel like you don't hear people talking about it as much. People probably implemented it into their lives, but it's not in headlines anymore or anything like that. So then seeing like the food pyramid flip and all that stuff, it kind of got a little resurgence again.
Yeah.
So then it kind of quiets down. We'll see probably a little more resurgence once springtime comes, once farmers markets come around again.
This time of year is pretty tough.
It's tough. It is.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it ebbs and flows. I don't think it's a train that's going to stop. Like we just said a couple minutes ago, a lot of people are realizing they're sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Yeah.
And what's keeping you sick and tired? It's usually the food you're eating.
Yeah.
A lot of the kind of things you're putting into your body.
Yeah.
And so I think people are really having like a big awakening to those things.
Yeah.
How do you transition the trend to becoming a lifestyle? Like I'm sure that's something you guys talk about and promote, but
slowly.
Yeah.
Very slowly. It's overwhelming. if you don't know about any of this stuff we're talking about, local food, why it's better for your body, like the whole health aspect of it also, when you go down that rabbit hole, which it is a rabbit hole,
Sure.
your head will spin.
Yeah.
Oh, I need raw dairy. I need beef is actually good for you. Butter is actually good for you.
Yeah.
Canola oil is horrible. Like
Yeah.
everything, like you have to reteach yourself everything you were taught. So you have to, at some point, realize, I don't know anything.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you have to almost like let go of ego
Yeah.
and
and
realize
convenience,
I
a lot
don't
of
know
it.
shit
And
and convenience, number one.
Yeah.
And then I don't know anything, and then like relearn it all, and then put it into practice, and then see what works for you and what doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we see a lot of times, honestly, too. Like, don't want to pull it back in again, but like once you do start going down these rabbit holes, and you start learning how like every food company is only owned by 3 corporations.
Yeah.
And all the like the beef's owned by like one commodity farm,
Yeah.
and like
There's
Tyson, and all these are like it's only 4 people
major
industry.
beef providers in the entire world.
That's
It's just
insane.
like that's when you're like, what are we even doing here? How'd this even happen? Like, there's so much bureaucracy in all of this.
You get
which is-
angry. You're
you
like,
do.
man,
You get
you
pissed.
feel like
Yeah.
you're
being
like
sold
you're
a bill of
victimized a
lies.
little
Yeah.
bit by that.
yeah.
And then you learn how it's all done intentionally to keep you sick and to keep you docile and to keep this and keep that. And you're like, yo, like that's when it becomes like, this is overwhelming.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well,
Like,
there's a saying, raising chickens is the first step to becoming a conspiracy theorist.
yeah.
It's
It's a gateway drug to it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so true, man. A lot of the content I feel like too, just when people are sitting at home, like we started watching a lot of videos like that where they like, kind of blew the, the lid off the truth of like a lot of these factories and processed food.
Yeah, man.
And,
Which the fact that they have ag gag laws where you can't film in there tells you exactly what they're doing.
yeah,
Like you will go to prison if you film inside a Tyson warehouse.
What?
What the fuck are you talking about? This
that's-
goes to everybody in the public, and I
Yeah.
can't film it because your practices are so shitty
Yeah. It's
that
like-
you have laws protecting that.
It's like having patent blockers on cancer curing things.
Yeah.
It's like, what are we doing here?
Like,
I didn't even realize that.
yeah,
Man.
Yeah,
ag
dude.
gag laws. It's called.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's insane.
Which
Like,
is why
it's-
we kind of saying what the whole point of this business is. We're trying to help you get away from that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And help you get out of that world, break out of the matrix, if you want to call it that.
Yeah.
Like, get away from some of these practices that only have the bottom line in mind.
Yeah.
It really is scary when you think about it because it impacts everything. Like you talk
Everything,
about rising
everybody.
anxiety and depression and all these things and pumping people full of, this or that drug.
Yeah, dog.
it's just food.
It really is, to your point about food as medicine, coming back to it.
I had just put something on our story today. It literally said, like, I don't want to be that health crazy friend, but my friends will talk about the issues they have, and I'm sitting there like, diet and exercise will fix all of this.
yeah.
But I don't want to be the one who's like, hey guys, diet and exercise will fix this. Like, you can sit here and tell me that you're on 8 different anxiety medications and antidepressants and this and that. I'm like, hey, well, if you just like go
Just
for a
walk
walk,
for a half hour.
you'd probably be pretty good.
Lift some weights,
yeah.
maybe.
yeah,
It is amazing, man.
it is.
So the one thing, like even selfishly, I'm thinking for myself, is there something that you guys have, not like a menu necessarily, but like, is there a list of farms, even in Bucks County, that you guys have or that we could put together just to like?
We already have it.
Yeah, I already
Awesome.
have it.
Yeah, I was curious about that.
We literally have, it's called like the farm list. So some guests we cook for are just like, hey, I just want to have good dinner. It's cool. You guys do the farm table thing. It's just a more of a high selling point. Great. But I don't really care about it. And other people are so like, this was the best experience I've ever had. I need to know more about it. I need to learn more about it. So we have the list of like, here's the dairy, here's the chicken, here's the lamb farmer, here's a couple beef farmers, here's a couple chicken farmers, here's like 3 or 4 different produce people. Here are the farmers markets in the area and what days they're on and things like that. So we have that of like, if you want to learn more about this, here. And these are places we specifically curated that have storefronts.
Yeah.
So it's
That's
not
incredible,
like you
man.
have to
Yeah.
go at a certain time or you have to text them or order a list. Like, no, these places you can just go shop.
You
at.
can just go shop and just walk in.
Yeah. There is, I will say, shout out, there's an app called Bucks Local that you can download and you just click on that and it's like pinpoints on a map.
No
And
kidding.
You click this one and it can be all farm stands.
Oh, I haven't heard of that.
There's
That's
one
awesome.
like
That's
all
great.
farmers markets. There's one like for beef and one for chicken. Like it's a really cool thing. And just like as you change the filter, it takes the pins away that don't like meet that filter. You know
That's
what I mean?
super cool.
So yeah,
Yeah.
Bucks Local. It's pretty cool. Yeah.
That's awesome. I'm definitely going to check that out.
Yeah.
Yeah, because even for us, like we live right by Herring Brothers,
Yep.
butcher shop, and we'll try to, do stuff with Ryan. Like
Yep.
anytime anyone does like a pop up or something like
Yeah.
that,
Yep.
We get our eggs from a farm right across the
At
street
Freedom?
from us. It's right up the street from Herring
So
Brothers.
Freedom
Freedom.
Farm.
Yeah,
Freedom
is
Farm.
that what it's called?
Yeah,
Yeah.
James Simpkins and their family. So you want to hear something crazy?
Yeah.
So we live in this compound property in Dublin, right? It's 2 houses on one property, and the Durstein family owned it forever. They were the
Okay.
original builders. We bought it from Dennis Durstein, who was 65, born and raised in the house, raised all his kids there, whatever. Come to find out, we do all this cooking. Freedom Farm is the farm up the street from
Yeah.
Herring.
Yep.
So James Simpkins owns that farm. Now, James and his wife, Christine, have been guests at different dinners we've done in the past. They've then called us to cook at their house, having no idea that they were like the proprietors of Freedom Farm. And so whatever. So you go on their Instagram page and it says James Simpkins and Daryl Durstein, right? Now, at our house, we have a big barn that they built as stuff as well. In the concrete, you can see some of the names of the kids, and you can see Colleen, Dennis, Daryl, I think Kevin. I remember messaging them like, "Hey, like, is this like the Daryl Durstein from like this address?" And like, yeah, it is. So we had my parents put in a like nice wood stove in our house for Christmas last year. And when they rebuilt the chimney, they took the big, the big rock slab off the top of it. And in that was a pile of concrete etched Henry Durstein, 1984.
No way.
I got to bring that back to Freedom Farm and give it to Daryl.
Oh, man.
So we
How
got
cool
to
is
meet
that?
Daryl. Colleen Durstein is married to one of the firefighters from the fire hall we rent
Yeah.
from.
No way.
Yeah.
So it's been really cool.
Right in
like,
Plumstead, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Shout out Plumstead Fire.
Yeah, shout out Plumstead Fire.
So it's been
always.
really cool, like meeting these people as like we go to these farms. Like Daryl Durstein is the farmer here that I'm buying eggs from, and I live in his
And you
family's
live in your
house.
fa-
like,
Oh, man.
So it's really cool of those kind of things. But yeah, so we buy our eggs for our business at Freedom Farm also.
Yeah.
That's really
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Yeah, anytime like I'll do the meat shopping, so I'll go to Herring Brothers because we live 2 seconds away. And
Yep.
my wife will grab eggs from Freedom.
Yeah,
That's really
and a
cool.
little kiosk, got the money in the
Yeah,
thing.
you just
Yeah,
pop the
dude.
cash
Yep,
in, and
yep.
it's the honor system.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Exactly,
amazing.
man.
That's how it should be, man.
It is, dude. It is. But we have to go back to that. Like, I would love to go back to the American way of like bartering.
Yeah.
And like, hey, I'll give you X amount of dollars and this also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna pay all cash. I'll pay half.
Yeah.
And I'll give you something else too.
Yeah.
Like,
There's an amazing quote that like I think he was some kind of a monk or something, but he kind of says like today is the only life. Like tomorrow, it's too early for tomorrow. Yesterday's already gone.
Yep.
But to your point about like bringing that back as the American way, it's like your reality is the only reality.
Yeah.
So if your way of American life is that,
yeah.
like that's the way it is then for
Sure.
you.
Yeah.
So that is the way that you do things.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of other people that have that common interest that
There
are
are.
seeking this out, especially around here.
Yeah.
Because it really is, man. Like spring, summer, and even into fall, there's an abundance of good markets around
Dude,
here and
man.
good people doing
Yeah,
this
man.
stuff.
Yeah, like almost too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's like overwhelming sometimes. Like, thankfully, over the last 5 years, we almost know every farm around here, which is amazing.
awesome.
It's also hard because it's like, who do you want to buy from? Who
Yeah.
do you want to support? Who has what? Doing what we do, it's like you're getting, availability lists every week. Then it's like, okay, so who do we order from that has what we're looking for? Who can also hit the quantities we need, or who will have it all month long,
Right,
Not
right.
just for these 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Do you guys, when you're putting a menu together, are you kind of like the order or sequence of events? Are you trying to source something first and be like, hey, we got on to None Such Farm to get some really good asparagus, so like we're gonna make a dish around that?
Yeah.
Or is it more, are you thinking menu first and then?
Well,
finding-
nowadays, again, being 5 years in, the first couple of years were kind of like that. Now we have a complete understanding of, I know exactly when things are in season, when they go out of
Yeah.
season, when they first arrive, when they kind of end. So nowadays, like this year specifically, like we're not really changing much. We have 12 menus for the 12 months.
So we change our menu every month.
Oh, cool.
Every month
Okay.
menu changes.
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah.
but we already now know this year specifically what those are all going to be.
Yeah.
And we
That's
know
awesome.
like we spent the last 5 years kind of honing and tweaking those, just so we can spend a little more time this year on like financial literacy and business admin stuff.
Yep.
Like just,
and gardening and home
yeah,
life.
yeah,
and,
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, I have
and
2
kids
young
and,
kids. and
Yeah, he has 2 young kids, so that's a whole thing.
So,
How old are your kids?
2.5 and 5 months.
Oh, 5 months.
Yeah,
Oh,
dog.
congrats.
Yeah.
he's in it.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm in the
you're-
trenches right now.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Mine
it's like-
are
like
9,
you
7, and 4, but
Okay,
dude, I
yeah.
remember those days. It's
Like you said, to the detriment of my wife's home, as I'm out doing shit like this and doing
Yep,
dinners
yep.
3 or 4 times a week. So I don't remember what we were just saying before that.
The menus and
Oh
some
yeah,
menus,
yeah.
yeah.
So it started with like figuring out what's in season, what's available, how long they are, what can you get for a full month,
Yeah.
what can you get for 2 months sometimes. Like nowadays we're kind of like 3 or 4 courses change a month because I don't think they all need to change every month, and like you can get these things for 2 months out of the year, and
yeah.
So it started with first, what's the ingredient, picking using May as an example with asparagus, it's like asparagus is one course, beets is another course. We'll do like green garlic for another course, or ramps usually are on the main menu.
Yeah, always.
Rhubarb's always on the main menu. Spring garlic's always on the main menu. We do spruce tip ice cream every May.
Ooh, what is that?
Like, you know the little green tips that grow on spruce trees?
Not really, but now that you're saying it, I'm gonna look out for it next
I
time
will,
I see
yeah,
one.
point it out. In May they start growing, but as you
I
drive
guess like
around,
a spruce tree looks like a fucking evergreen. For, like
Yeah.
most
Yeah.
people like
Yeah,
don't.
yeah.
Yeah.
they grow these really bright green tips on them, and the tips taste like lemon and pine. So they make like the sweetest flavors. We do a spruce tip ice cream every year
No
with like
kidding.
a lemon balm panna cotta. And that's just like a super vibrant green. It's so cool when you're sitting like outside for the first time of the year. I'm like, hey, see that tree? That's where the ice cream came from. You know what I mean? So that's always
That's
like really
amazing.
cool.
Yeah.
And they're such common trees. Everybody has them in their yards. They're all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like we started with like pick the ingredient and then make the dish around that ingredient. To nowadays, like we just kind of know what they're gonna be.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Yeah.
That's really cool. I have a buddy of mine. Do you know Chad Rosenthal, who's a chef?
Yeah, of course.
He owns
So-
Mary and Ambler.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So every
he had the what was
he had the
it?
Lucky Well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
he had that when we were opening Ardennais. He was opening.
You guys were-
in
you were
Valley
right next to
Square
each
also.
other.
Yeah, exactly.
Man, I was like, that was like my spot, and Ardena was too for
Yeah.
date nights and whatever.
Oh
But
yeah.
Chad was such a he's such a storyteller and like a great human. So we've kind of just become buddies over the
Yeah.
years. But I remember when it was really only open for like 9-12 months or something.
Yeah.
But like he had a great whiskey selection. His food was on point. And he'd just come out and just shoot the shit with you.
Mhm.
But it's funny. Every year he does like this. He does like a week or 2 weeks where he's just going through the woods collecting ramps.
Yep.
Yeah.
But it's like I look forward to that because I'm like, oh man, shit, it's that time of year again.
So,
but
so
it's the same kind of deal.
So speaking of them earlier, we used to do the same thing. We'd forage for them on like state parks and shit.
Yeah, which you're not supposed to
Nowadays,
do,
nowadays, we go to Castle Valley Mill's house.
Yeah.
Oh no
We
kidding.
go to their mill. We get in the canoe. We go across the river, and they have patches all over. And we go.
No
we pick
kidding.
a bunch of ramps. We clean them, and then we cook meat on the fire.
Yeah.
And we do that. This will be our third year doing it together, and that'll be like a tradition we'll probably do.
Yeah,
man.
Forever. You know what I mean?
The whole ramp thing is huge in the chef community because it's the first sight of spring.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
the first sight of, hey, warm weather's coming.
Yeah.
It's also, we kind of say in the whole foraging world, ramps are one of the only things you can pick right out of the ground and it's delicious right there.
You can just eat it.
Most
right
things
there.
are bitter, and they can be like you got to blanch them and cook out some of
Yeah.
the things. Like fiddlehead ferns can be a little poison if
Most-
you eat them raw.
Most forage things should be used for medicine.
Yeah.
You know, we as a society have bred out the bitterness of it because we take taste over health.
Yeah.
So like,
Well, of like greens and like lettuces and stuff. Like most lettuce and most greens you pick in the woods are going to be very bitter.
but they're very good for you.
Bitter is better.
Yeah.
It's like one of the sayings in like health worlds and foraging worlds. Of
Yeah.
like the bitterness is good for our bodies.
Yeah.
We just as society don't like discomfort.
Yeah.
So we take bitterness out of them.
We say
you know
we
what I
are
mean?
like slaves to mouthfeel.
Yeah.
You know.
Wow.
Yeah.
And just comfort. Everybody wants to be comfortable all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that's what it is. Like you just don't want to eat something that tastes a little bad because it's good for you.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I mean, that Castle Valley Mill, I remember going through there just for my own curiosity because like I saw I was driving past that stretch Lower State
Yeah,
Road, I guess
yep.
it is. And I saw it one day and I was like, what the hell is this? Because I saw people there. I
Yeah.
always thought it was just like an abandoned
Yeah,
barn.
Sure.
And I just had pulled in, and this is probably right during or right after the pandemic.
Okay.
And I forget was it Mark?
Yeah, Mark, yep.
Mark,
So Mark,
Fran, and then Deming and Corin are all the family.
okay, yeah. So Mark was there, and I just walked in, knocked on the door. I'm like, hey man, not for nothing, but I live right around the corner, and like I saw people here, and I saw a mill,
Yeah.
and I'm a total amateur, but I love to cook at home,
Yeah.
and I love grits. Like that's
Yeah.
my daughter loves
Okay.
them.
Oh,
I love
really?
them, and so he literally took an hour and just gave me the entire
He's
tour,
the
I have
man.
a story for you.
just as a dude off the street. But yeah, go ahead.
When we were working at the Mainland Inn, at the time we were 21 or so, and we always kind of said if you're a good chef doing responsible things from Georgia to Maine, you probably know about Castle Valley Mill,
Yeah.
right? You probably know
Wow.
they're awesome.
Yeah, like
people.
Vetri uses his flour,
yeah,
and like
yep.
he's
And so when I was remember at the time reaching out to them again, being 21, just getting into all this kind of stuff, and like, hey, can I come by and take a tour?
We grew up 4 minutes from there.
Oh, really?
We
grew
literally
up-
at Lower State and Street Road.
Yeah.
Oh, no
Corner
kidding.
print right there.
At
Oh,
the
okay, yeah.
softball field, we were the first house a morning walk drive. So
at the quarry field
Yeah,
right there.
pretty much
Exactly.
right there.
So
We
we
grew
lived-
up right
Oh, I
there.
used to play softball over
Yeah.
there.
So
Yeah.
we grew up. We would walk to the softball field from our neighborhood. We were if you turns right on a street road from Lower State.
Yeah.
Come past the softball field, the first neighborhood, we were the first house.
No kidding.
On the right side.
And that's where they have that new community that
they
Toll
just
Brothers or something.
fucking
So we were
built
the,
everything.
we were the
built.
neighborhood
Yeah.
across the street.
We'd walk
Yeah.
through the cornfield
yeah.
to come to the softball field to lay in the grass to watch
Yeah.
when we were
No
like
kidding,
when we were
man.
like 14.
Yep.
Oh
so,
my God.
So whatever. I hit him up. Can I come take a tour, see what's going on? Blah blah blah. You know, I work with your flower in the restaurant I work in. But you know, whatever. Took my buddy Mike with me. Went, got a whole tour, heard the whole thing. Got to go in like their little, which is now Karin's house. It was just a kitchen they had renovated in the one barn. And they showed me like where Vetri signed when he came to do the mastering pizza and the mastering bread, and like how he was there using their flour and stuff. And as we started this business, there were things where they were examples. I don't know if you remember Nord Bread. They were
Yeah.
Nord Bread was another example of people that we kind of like idolized when we were in restaurants and
Yeah.
stuff, if you will. Always want to figure out, how do I work with them? How can I get involved with them? You know, whatever. We started this business and they've all reached out to us and was like, hey, how can we work together?
No kidding.
Fortunately, Nord's not there anymore, but we became really close with Danny and Bianca. We're like Casa Valley Mill, the whole family. Like, we'll be at Deming and Tanner's wedding. Like, they become some of
That's
our
amazing.
closest just friends.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
so that kind of stuff is just so cool to go from 10 years ago. Like, I just, same thing, stopped in, like, hey, what is this?
Yeah.
To now, like, what's up, homies? Can I come by and get flowers
Yeah.
today? You know what I mean?
We
Like,
That's
we
awesome.
had just had dinner with Deming, the daughter, and her fiance Tanner at their new like apartment or whatever, dude, in like Upper Black Eddy,
Yeah.
like 2 miles back into the woods.
No kidding.
just really cool.
We were the first ones they invited over for dinner.
Yeah.
Like, dude, you guys are fucking amazing. Hell yeah, we want to
That's
come
what
over
this
for
is
dinner.
all about, though,
Yeah,
man.
dude.
Like, it
That's what
doesn't
it's all
matter.
about.
It all comes back to relationships.
Yeah.
I'm big on anytime, you know, business brain turns on or we're traveling or like doing, you know, keynotes or whatever. I always lead with connection as currency to me. You know, like you really have 3 different forms of currency in your life. You have time, you have money, and you have connection to people and relationships. And I value that one over anything.
Yeah.
Money aside, like, you know, reputation and the bonds that you can build that tethers you to somebody else, like that lasts forever. And I don't mean to sound corny about it, but
100%.
you guys are living proof of this too. And, you know, even today, like, you know, hopefully we'll get into a lot of weird shit over the rest of our life together.
Yeah.
But that's what it's all about.
But
at the
kind
end
of
the day.
like what we touched on earlier and everything. Like you said, time, money, and relationships. To us, money's probably the third on that.
Same.
Like,
I totally agree with that.
I really cherish our time.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to waste it, but I also want to enjoy it.
Yeah.
You know, we're only here for so long. We're not here forever. You know, our whole entire structure of our business is based on building relationships.
Yep.
On the community, on sharing things and everything like that. Like, we're big on stress management.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could maybe make more money, but I won't see my wife. He won't see his kids. We won't get the things that fill our cups filled.
Yeah. I
Like,
have way higher stress.
yeah.
You
Like,
know?
is that worth the money? Like, if you're already not struggling, do you really need so much more?
There's a lot
know?
of people that really struggle with that, and a lot of personal relationships I know, you know, of just my friend group, and it was probably indicative of where I was in my 20s and early 30s, like running the corporate rat race, you know, just trying to, you know, make more money at any cost, you know, to my health, to my family, to, you know, my time I'm spending with my kids, and you know, you kind of wake up one morning and you're like, why, like, for what?
Yeah.
Like to have a, you know, bigger house, like nicer truck.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like,
Exactly.
A bigger house
Does
with
it
a
fill-
fucking higher payment
Yeah.
and everything. Like, you just make your life more expensive.
Yeah.
You know, like half the shit we all have, we don't need.
Yeah.
I 100% agree with that.
You know, it's, and we always joke, I don't know if we're too young to say stuff like that, but like, I don't know. I don't want to be 55 and not be able to bend down and touch my toes because I spent my entire life working.
Did your parents are both fit people. Like, did
Yeah.
your dad, was that kind of instilled in you? Because your
yeah.
dad,
No,
he's a
our
fit
dad
dude.
is, I will fucking work till I die. Like, I will
Really?
fucking work
Well, he'll
100
work.
hours a day.
He'll work,
if
but
could.
he's always worked out. Like that's what
Yes.
you're getting at. Like
Yeah.
they didn't instill it on us of like you should do this also. Like our little brother took to it way more than we have.
Yeah.
With fitness, you mean?
yeah.
Yeah, it's a much more part of our life now, just
Yeah.
because like we understand overall health and like taking care of your body and like nowadays we both have to work out like 4 times a week to just feel like good.
Just
Yeah.
to feel like
But
a normal human.
Yeah, but our little brother is like a little monster. You know what I
Dude.
mean? Like he started in
Really?
high school and he's just ripped. You know what I mean? He
Yeah.
always has been. He's like a amateur rock climber, if you will.
His like legs are as big as my chest.
Yeah, he's
kidding.
insanely strong.
Yeah.
But it's something he always did, and looking back on it, like I can always remember watching him doing it and seeing him like do the struggle of it all, and it's something that like I want my kids to watch as they grow up, and I want them to see it as they grow up, and like he was always a role model. So nowadays, like that's what I also want to be doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Work they didn't instill. Like honestly, it's amazing to give them all the credit for like being responsible, for being caring. But dude, like it was the kitchens that like raised us really. From like the time we were 16, we got into restaurants, we got into kitchens. Like our parents were having their own struggles. They were going through their own things. They were trying to build their own lives. I remember at the time in 2008, my dad just got into real estate. The worst time to ever get in real estate.
Oh my God. Yeah.
He had to go back and work for Nordstrom and like go work corporate again. And like, I remember him just being so miserable. And so like, we were in restaurant kitchens at the time, learning how to work, being yelled at, getting all that instilled in us. And like, they were trying to figure out their own shit,
Yeah.
So they did a great job raising us to be like nice and respectful and like listen to the rules and be polite. But like the work ethic and stuff comes from a lot of the chef mentors that we had. Granted, we watched them work their asses off, and they probably work more today than they ever have.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
granted, they both have two incredible companies that they both own that shows for it.
Yeah.
And millions of dollars of property that they own.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a ton
stuff
of real
like
estate
that.
in the Airbnbs you guys are building.
Exactly.
And,
That's what I'm
it's
saying.
it's really cool.
So it's
Yeah.
really cool, but like some of the work stuff like came from the kitchens we were working in, but the fitness side, it was always a big thing in our house growing up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, always. Yeah, I mean, our dad always said, and my wife and I and his wife and I are the same way. Like, I want to look good for you always.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just because we're married doesn't mean I can now fuck off and get fat and like
exactly.
stop
Yeah,
caring
yeah.
about you looking at me. Like, there's a million fish in the sea.
Yeah, exactly.
And we all now have access to 100 different things to make you look good. Like, I want to look good too.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. Yeah.
It also, and we saw, and I'm sure you guys see it going on stage and everything, like your physical appearance is how you carry yourself in a room.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
You know what I mean? Like, it might be maybe a little not right to say, but I don't trust a fat doctor.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
You know,
well,
I don't
that's a lot of where like RFK
like,
turned the tables on everything.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Like,
dude.
our last health secretary, I'm not listening to that fucking person. When you look, I'll listen to him. Look, he's shredded. He's 75 years old. He can do pull-ups. Like, most people in America can't do pull-ups.
Right.
Like,
And we go into even like same thing, or it's not the most like politically correct, but like we don't bring people to our dinners if you're not attractive.
Yeah.
Like we were told in hospitality when we were in college, like the most attractive person is the hostess.
Wow.
You put the best looking person at the front of your restaurant.
Who greets people when they come in. They come in and go, wow, that person's attractive. It's going to be a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's psychological.
It is.
Everything we all do is psychological.
You don't want like someone with a shirt untucked and stained to be greeting you when you're going to come spend a bunch of money in a restaurant.
Yeah.
You know what
At
I
least
mean?
a really high-end one. Like, think about hotels and everything. When you go to the desk, the concierge, and the people checking you in, they're usually mostly
Good looking.
good looking. At least when you go like, to resorts and everything like that, it's like, God damn.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Well, you guys are in, yes, your product is food and you're selling an experience, but like the hospitality thing, there was an awesome book. I'm sure you guys have heard of it. It's called Unreasonable Hospitality.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, of
It's
course.
fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Like,
It's good for every industry.
Any industry.
Yep.
Like
Yeah.
we were just talking before the show, we're in the hospitality business. You know, it doesn't matter what you're doing, but you're creating an experience to build a relationship and a memory for that person. If they're paying you money, if they're paying you with their time, whatever it is, and I mean, you guys have really adopted that because you're in the hospitality business, but like you both cut your teeth in kitchens.
Yeah.
But you've learned that philosophy of like, hey, there's a whole layer of like the aesthetic appeal of someone greeting you at the desk.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, we saw, I think we saw it with our dad first in real estate. So, he has his whole truck wrapped. I'm sure you've seen with his face on it and everything.
Yep.
We now have our own SUV wrapped with our faces on the back of it and stuff.
I haven't seen your faces on it.
It's like us plating food on the back of it and it says
It's not like
Servis
our
Events.
faces, but
Did you drive it over here today?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you'll see it, you'll
it's
see
out,
it.
Oh,
out
I gotta
in
go
the
check it out.
parking lot.
Hell yeah.
But his slogan was, "My name is my commitment." Our last name being Servis.
Yeah.
Like, we are in the service industry. Our name is our commitment, whether we want to think about that or not.
Yeah.
I'm here to give you the best service, whether that's pulling your chair out, hanging up your coat, saying please and thank you, excuse me, whatever, part of my reach, asking polite questions, just like playing with your kids while you're eating dinner so they're not bothering you. Like, we've done like Nerf wars with kids in the
Like while we're
houses.
cooking.
So the parents can
Just
enjoy
so the
themselves.
parents can-
Just like, hey, we're here to give you the best service possible.
Yep.
I'm here to cook food, but I'm here for you to fully enjoy hosting a party. We all know how stressful
Well,
that
these
can
things,
be.
like going back again, the attractive person in the front, like a restaurant, the service we're providing, like they're all one big thing. And you can't just focus on one of them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
they all have to be cohesive. They all have to work together. They all have to kind of go with what you're trying to accomplish. You know what I mean? Like You want to be a nice fine dining restaurant, charges a lot of money. You can't have unattractive people in the front.
Yeah.
It just is what it is. You know what I mean?
What does that all come back to for you? Like, yes, it's hospitality. Yes, it's experience, but is it a memory? Is it a feeling? Like, what is that thing like at its core that you're really trying to create?
I guess it's
Yeah,
it's
go
a little bit of both of what you said. Like, I think it's the memory of like when I go to this place, I know it's going to be fantastic.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I can think about like certain bartenders that we know of, like when you go there and you sit down at their bar, like you look forward to talking to them.
Like
You
Christian
look
at Lagrange, we've had on the show, who's
exactly.
a friend of ours. Like,
exactly.
You
know,
look forward to just like catching up, and they make you feel good. You know what I mean? So like, it's the feeling of that they feel like they're being nourished, that they're creating memories, but then like how we all do, like it's almost selfish by giving them that experience, like because it makes you feel good inside.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
100%. I agree.
I would
with
say, I
that.
mean, with us too, it's also like the memory of it. I want you to think like, man, remember Mary Lou's 40th birthday when those two, chefs came in, and like, how great was that?
I
How
still think about
fun were
that,
they?
yeah.
I tell everybody whenever food comes up, they're the people I talk about. Like,
Yeah.
it's making memories for people, because we kind of say we are invited into your life to celebrate usually something big with
Yeah.
you, whether it's a birthday or an anniversary or a milestone, a promotion, or just getting your friends together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
Which
just
most
an
people don't
excuse
do
to just
anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, man, remember last time when we all just wanted to get together and those cool ass dudes came in and we had a great time and great food and good stories and good laughs? Like, man, we should do that again.
Yeah.
Like, that's what it's about.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then when we see them at the bar, I'll buy you a drink.
Yeah.
I'll buy you a drink. Yeah, let's go. Like,
It's amazing how that works, man. And we see it from a similar but lens, but different vantage point, being performers. Like,
Yeah.
we do a lot of my favorite things to do, like playing in bars is cool. I enjoy it. I've done way too much of it. Spent too much of my life in honky tonks on
Yeah,
stages.
sure.
But the coolest things we get to do are some of those smaller, more intimate gatherings where it's a 40th, 50th, 50th birthday party. It's an anniversary party. It's a smaller wedding. Because like they're the nights that if you guys want to party for fucking 6 hours and go till 2 a.m, I'm just gonna sing till my lungs give out.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't care.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
and it's not about the money. It's not about anything other than like that shared, exchange of energy.
Yep.
Truthfully. And, because a lot of times if we're playing like a theater or a festival, you're trying to grab the person in the back of the audience that's on their phone or looking
Yeah.
down or doing something.
Sure.
And I am relentless about trying to like just connect with that one person.
Yeah.
Tell a story, take people on an emotional roller coaster to just connect.
It
It's
seems
funny, yeah.
it seems like as you literally said that, it popped right into my head. It seems like at every single event we do, whether it's 3 people or 25 or 100, there's always that one person we're like, yo, we gotta make them smile.
gotta,
I
Yeah.
gotta crack
I
that
gotta
guy.
crack that guy.
Yeah.
I gotta
Yeah.
like have him be like, yo, that was good.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
there's always that one where it's like, that person is the one, like, I don't know why, but I got to just break through to them.
I mean, just like you definitely relate. Like what we do, it is an act.
I was to say the
And
same
so,
about
like,
that
it's a
too.
performance.
The
It's
story,
a performance
yeah,
art.
the story we tell, we have the points. Like I know, and he knows in the kitchen when I say this, there's gonna be laughter.
Yeah.
And so there's
Cue the
all
laugh track.
So there's
Hold up cue cards,
yeah.
laugh here.
But so there's always that one guy who like is straight faced and doesn't smile and is like very skeptic. So like you're saying, like we're always like, yo, dude, do that, seat 3 on the left side, like, yo, give him some extra love. You know what I'm saying? Like make sure he's like, but and then I want him to be like, you guys are awesome. This is
Yeah.
fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
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 It never happens that someone gives you bad feedback, you
No.
know, because they recognize, like, if they're in the room or they're at the table, like, they're there for a reason.
Yes.
Whether someone dragged them there and
Yeah.
said, like, hey, we're going to do something different, cool night out. But, like, yeah, it's funny because a lot of what you guys do, similar to us, it's a performance art, like you said, but it is funny because whether the smaller the group, the easier it is to spot somebody.
Sure.
But, like, if we're playing Barefoot Country Music Festival, there's more of like a sea of people that you can sort of see doing
Sure.
that. And the more you do it, there's unique ways to kind of connect, or you just have to go a different emotional route or tell a different kind of story or, hold up a different cue card at that moment.
Exactly.
It's being able to pivot quickly.
Yeah.
Like when we book events, when people inquire with us, we don't ask to see your kitchen.
Yeah.
We
Oh,
don't,
really?
We have no idea what we're walking into ever.
That keeps it fun though. Like, that's part of the
So, like,
challenge,
It's a performance every time. It's a different stage in a
Yeah.
different house with a different audience, so
Yeah.
to speak. every time we go somewhere.
Yep.
You know, and
You're
like
playing the same instruments, but you're like
Exactly.
going into a different
that's
stage.
what keeps us on our toes. We're good at what we do because we're able to pivot so quickly.
Yeah.
Like we keep outside camp burners in our car just in case your stove isn't great.
Yeah.
We keep tables in our car just in case your island won't fit 18 plates.
Right.
Like we are able to cook outside and do whatever has to be done without ever interfering with your experience or even telling you, hey, this is what we're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
You know?
amazing, man.
Yeah.
That's it is the same in music, and you guys know this from playing in bands, but you just anticipate, you do this long enough, anything that can go wrong will go wrong.
Yep.
It's the same in media, it's the
Yep.
same in any creative field. So like the redundancy and the preparation, the more you do it is
What's the saying?
know.
Like, it's like hope for the best, prepare for the worst.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and 90% of the time like things go smoothly, but like, you know, I'm carrying extra speakers, extra cables,
Yep.
extra mics. You know, I bring 2 guitars to every show, even though I never use.
Yeah.
It's always the one time that I need it that I don't have it.
Of course. Of course.
You know, it's the same, I'm sure, for you guys, right?
We kind of say we want to run into all the problems at our kitchen, not at yours.
Yeah.
It's a good
You
way
know?
to look at it. Yeah.
We'll bring an extra portion or
Yes,
something of
yeah.
everything because we've had, it was crazy. It happened only 2 times in 5 years, but it happened literally a week apart from each other. One party was confirmed for 4 people, 6 showed up. One party was confirmed for 8, 9 showed up or something like that. But because we just come prepared, we had the extra stuff for it.
Yeah.
But it's
Like,
also like we're not a restaurant where it's like, yo, Jose, fire me 2 more beefs,
Yeah.
fire me 2 more of these.
Yeah.
Like it's like, yo,
Yeah.
I'm at your house. I bring the plates, I bring the silverware. You have 2 guests. Like I didn't bring 6 plates. Fortunate for the situation we were in, they provide the plates because like Tiffany and Co plates and
Right.
they want to use.
we
their
always
fancy
say
stuff,
when
but
shit like that happens, I'll knock on everything, man. God has our back.
yeah, dude.
Dude, every time
Every
something
time.
like that happens,
I
man.
had literally to that point, we had probably the crazy experience I've had in my musical career in 24 years. We got asked to play a show for the Eagles, like at
Nice.
Lincoln Financial Field.
Yeah.
Nice.
And it was for this, we do a big, we give back to a military charity. My brother's a Marine,
Oh, yeah.
retired a few years ago, about 70% disabled, you
Damn.
know, with shoulder surgery, all kinds of stuff.
God bless our troops.
Yeah.
Oh, dude,
Dude.
it's everything. We can't do enough
No,
to
we
give back
cannot.
to them.
No,
No, we
you're right.
cannot.
So we do a ton with this charity called Folds of Honor.
Yeah, of
So
course.
we've been
Yeah.
playing shows for them for free for years. We donate a lot of money. We do a lot of charity events for them. So Folds of Honor asked us to like basically throw this Folds of Honor event with the Eagles, you know, this past season.
Mhm.
And I was like, we had just played we do the Wingman Open up at Saucon Valley Country Club for them
Okay.
every year. And they were like, hey, we think we have this thing with the Eagles we want you guys to do. And I'm like, oh my God, like dream. I'm a
Yeah.
diehard Bleed Green
Oh,
Eagles
hell
fan.
yeah,
Go
baby.
Go Birds.
Go Birds.
But, you know, so we're prepping, you know, we have this massive stage. I got my sound guy bringing all his stuff down. And, you know, I think we were going to hit at 10 a.m. We had like an acoustic buddy of ours open for us and play like an hour acoustic
Sure.
set. We were going to play as long as people wanted us to play.
Sure.
So I'm like up at 4:30 in the morning. I can't sleep. I'm so excited. I just jump in my truck. Everything was loaded. I'm driving down 95 cruising. I'm like, I'm going to get there, take my time,
Yeah,
take this
dude.
all in, enjoy it. And I'm 2 miles from the stadium on 95 South.
Yep.
My truck blows a tire. Like an asshole, I try to drive on it because I'm like, the exit's right there. I can do it. I'm like, come on, Silverado, you know, hit me up. So the tire pops off of the axle. The whatever the control arm like pops
Sure.
off.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm literally stranded
Bro.
on the side of 95 in the right lane. I can't even get over to the shoulder. So you talk about God's got your back in all these situations. Literally 30 seconds later, a flashing light truck comes on right behind me. And I'm like, is this the cops? Like, how did
Yeah.
they see? And it was a Tinicum Township firefighter who
No
was off
shit.
duty. I was in an Eagles jersey. He was too. He gets out of his truck, like hitches up to me and pushes my truck over to the shoulder, and never met this guy. And I had a generator with 10 gallons of gasoline in the back. So if I got hit, the whole city was going to go up.
bro.
Yeah.
So I had all my music equipment, speakers, all this stuff for like basically a festival. He's like, here, just throw all your shit in my truck. I'll drive it down to the stadium for you.
Yo.
And I'm like, are you sure? Like, what can I do, man? Like, he's like, don't even worry
Yeah.
about a thing. I will take everything down for you. You wait here. So Sure as shit, we unload a festival's worth of shit from
Yeah.
my truck bed into his truck. He drives it down to the stadium. I get a call 15 minutes later. My sound guy's like, "Hey, all your shit's here. Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I think so. I'm just stranded.
Yeah, some
I can
angel to
see
save me."
you."
Yeah.
But I'm thinking to myself, like, so that was the first weird thing. The second one, the police show up, and there was this weird thing with AAA where, you had to be with your truck on the
Yeah.
side of the road if it's stranded. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So the cops come. I'm telling them, like, "Hey, I'm a performer. We're playing down here," and he's like, "No worries, man. Like, I got you.
Yeah.
Grab my guitars and the other stuff in my truck." The cop basically gives me a police escort into the stadium, puts his lights on, and like gets through traffic, game day traffic. And I get a call from AAA like 20 minutes later, and they're like, "Hey, like, we see your truck's here, but we need someone to we need you to physically be at the truck for us to tow it." And I'm like, I can't get there. Like, I can't. The police officer overheard the conversation when I was in the car with him, and he makes a squad call out to like the other officers. He's like, "Hey, I need a car to go over and sit with this abandoned truck because we got a performer here that just went on." We get down to the stadium. The generator I had in my truck doesn't work. The sound guy is like panicking. The Eagles brought over 2 extra generators. And I'm sitting there like, I literally looked up at one point and called my mom. And I was like, something weird's happening here. But I had my late grandfather, I was wearing he gave me his 1955 Stetson before he passed. I never wear it to shows. But I was like, I'm taking my grandpop down to the Eagles game.
Hell
today.
yeah.
Dude, that chills.
Chills
And
that, yeah.
I called my mom and I was like, "Pop's looking over us today.
Yeah.
Doing this."
Yeah,
It was
dude.
the sequence of events that everything went wrong that I didn't anticipate. We hit sure as shit with a brand new generator at 10 a.m. on the fucking nose, like nothing ever happened.
Yeah, man.
The dude who was the angel that saved me,
Yeah.
I invited him to come back. He got synced up with Folds of Honor, and we're doing like a free charity event for his firehouse.
Nice.
Became like a buddy.
Bucks County boy down
Yeah.
in Pinnacle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, to your point, man, like,
It's crazy.
This shit is so far out of our control.
Yeah.
bro.
Well, I think it's so cool because we've been getting into like religion more, in our adult life and everything. Like, man, when you look for it, it is there.
It's there.
It's there. Always.
You just got to tap into it.
You also
man.
got to be a good person.
Yeah.
You know, don't be a shithead.
You got to do all those little things.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, you do the right thing for
Dude.
24 years and shit like that happens.
man.
And
Exactly,
literally
dude.
down to the stroke of 10 a.m.
Yep.
without a hitch.
That's
amazing.
incredible.
And
That's crazy, dude.
you just take those stories with you and you just like everything possible went wrong that day.
Like that should
But
have
it still
just
worked
been
out.
like a complete disaster.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
One of
Yeah.
the biggest shows we've ever played.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it was
And-
perfect.
The Eagles were like, "I don't know how the hell you pulled it off, but you guys were great.
Come back
you
next
know?
year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
You know,
Dude.
Awesome,
So-
dude.
That's awesome, man.
you hear that kind of shit all the time
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
You know, if you just show up and do the right things
Yeah.
and treat people
Yeah,
the right
man.
way.
Yep. Yeah. You can't just meditate your way into success.
Yeah.
You have to do the work too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly, man.
Yeah.
So, a couple things before we wrap up.
Yep.
So, I want to get a sense of the dishes you guys serve and the things. Like, I'm excited to come. I got to come to a couple of your
Yeah.
events.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
sure we'll throw some together
yep.
this year. What's the one dish that you guys serve or that's on the menu this year that you're like, I can't wait for people to try that?
So one of my personal favorites, going back to it, is the Servis Tip ice cream.
Okay.
So I think that one's always really cool. Anytime you get to incorporate in anything foraged, I
Yeah.
like.
Yep.
So that's one that even when I put it on the menu on our website, I do put in parentheses like personal favorite, just because like some of the things you put out sound weird to people or they're unique. They're things you never had before.
Right.
Most people don't know you can even eat a spruce tip. So I like when we get to showcase things like that. They're a little bit different,
Yeah.
but that are also like delicious.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite ones is the spruce tip ice cream.
Yeah. I feel like we have one on right now. We did it last year. We kind of came back to it again this year because we were like, dude, this is a cool ass dish. And I know when we move past this, we're gonna be like, who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're doing a leek and maitake mushroom arancini. So it's like, fried risotto, rice, whatever.
Yeah. I love arancini.
But
It's
we make a leek and mushroom stock, make the rice in that, fold in some awesome, local mushrooms and leeks and everything, but then serve it on top of a chestnut bechamel sauce with pickled onion and a little Parmesan hat and some leek ash and then a little bit of
What is leek ash?
we
What does that
take
even
like the
mean?
tops of leeks, char them on a grill, dehydrate them so they're super brittle, buzz them up and pass them through like a super fine sieve or chinois. So it's a dusting of like burnt leek.
Yeah.
With a little bit of like micro thyme that's like super lemony and floral and like it's one of those things where if you don't like mushrooms, just fucking eat it.
Yeah, you
Like,
wouldn't even know.
You
but
won't
it's-
even know, and it's
Oh my
going to
God.
be incredible. And like, it's the one dish we get the most pushback on. That is like, yo, if you put any kind of trust into us,
Yeah.
just please eat this.
Just try that.
Yeah, just try this one. I promise, it's amazing.
Yeah.
You
Oh
know.
my God.
And the people who are always like, oh, I don't know, when they try it, they're like, dude, thank you so much for like not faltering on this, and like,
Yeah.
thank you for almost forcing me to eat this. Like,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
was absolutely incredible.
We get certain things that we like to do because we come to your house. We try to not be like, we try to be adventurous, but not super out there.
Yeah.
If we own a restaurant or whenever that day comes, like we'll maybe do a little bit different things.
Yeah.
But we get pushback. I remember we did rabbit rillettes in July, and it was like a little small baguette with a piece of rabbit rillette, which is, it sounds really off-putting, but a rillette essentially is kind of like cat food. It's just like slow cooked meat reincorporated with its fat, chopped up so it can kind of be spread. It's
Okay.
like one of the best things to eat ever. But on a little baguette with rabbit rillettes with a little dried cherry puree and some green coriander, and that was one that like for half the people we had to change it because they were unwilling to try it and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So that's kind of like
I bet you if we just said sourdough bread,
Yeah.
not rabbit,
Yeah.
they would totally eat
They
it.
would have eaten
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
So
Been
things like
holding
that.
What
everything.
is this? Oh, it's
Yeah.
rabbit.
Huh?
yeah, some like
Yeah.
tartars we do, and that sometimes we'll get some pushback on them.
Yeah.
But yeah, dishes that like we like to eat like that. Like when I go out, those are things that I want to try and that I want to kind of be eating. But those little unique ingredients are probably the things that stick out.
Yeah.
Like as my personal favorites and things I look forward to
Yeah.
every year.
Things like right now, we're even serving sunchoke soup.
Yeah.
Most people don't know what a sunchoke is.
Yeah.
You
Never
know,
heard of it.
it's
Yeah.
a Jerusalem artichoke. It's in the sunflower family. It grows kind of like a fingerling potato, like a tuber underground
Yeah.
and everything. But it has like the flavor of like a potato meets like a
Parsnip.
parsnip / apple
They're so
/
good.
celeries. It's crazy. It's hard to describe. But we know they're only around for a short period of time.
Mhm.
So getting to highlight these super quick seasons, even
Yeah.
asparagus and strawberries and blueberries, like they're a 3-week season.
Wow.
We don't serve them after those 3 weeks.
Yeah.
We don't eat them in our personal lives after those 3 weeks. So like it's cool to be able to super highlight these ingredients, gorge yourself on them for a
Yeah.
couple weeks, and I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, I'll fucking see you next year.
I'll see you
Yeah,
next year.
You know,
exactly.
yeah,
That's funny, man.
yeah.
No, it's really cool. I'm looking forward after this to kind of connecting, and I need a little guidance,
Yeah,
just
dude.
on
What
where
we're
to,
here for.
I love that list that you guys have. So we'll blast that out and hopefully tell people
Yeah.
about that.
Most of them are around here,
Yeah.
around where we are right now.
Well, that's what's amazing.
Yeah.
Like you have, ultra local places. It's not like you're going to a different state to kind
No.
of get this stuff.
Yeah.
Like the farthest we'll go is like Frenchtown,
Yeah.
which
Oh,
is
I
like
mean,
just right there.
Yeah.
yeah,
Exactly.
you're going farther to drive to your job.
Exactly.
in those
Exactly.
places.
Yeah, exactly. It's fucking farther to Warminster than it
Yeah.
is to Frenchtown.
All right, so 3 questions we ask everybody on the show.
Okay.
The first thing is, you guys are musicians. So if we were to open up Spotify or whatever you're streaming on music, what song or what artist am I hearing right now?
Right now,
Right now.
Volumes.
yeah, volumes.
Yeah.
Like super hardcore.
Okay.
I was actually just telling one of our buddies, I was like, I can't wait for springtime to start so I can start listening to country again.
Oh, hell yeah.
You
Let's
know,
go.
Love country.
Once like the farming starts again, country comes full
Yeah.
blast. But yo, wintertime is just fucking death metal.
Yeah. Hardcore
Just
music.
pissed off all winter,
Yeah.
hardcore music all winter.
Just in your
Honestly-
feels.
Yeah.
Honestly, kind of how like we came in today, like frequency things, like lo-fi. Do a lot
Yeah.
of lo-fi music.
Oh, we have the Zenden music going on
Yeah,
all the
exactly.
time. Here,
Yep.
you
Dude,
know?
my wife and I
Zen
first
Den,
date.
dude.
I love it.
My wife
man.
and I's first date was at the Zenden.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. Loved that place.
Yeah,
But
that.
yeah, so things like that, dude, and like it's crazy sometimes. Like we're such in just the phase of life that we're in. Like it's podcasts and audiobooks. You'd find more.
Yeah.
You know,
Nice.
there,
Oh,
there,
that's
are
cool.
there are
Lot of
times.
podcasts.
There are times when I'm like, I don't even know what music I want to listen to or I even like anymore because like it's just always consuming information. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, but Volumes is probably a hardcore band to listen to right now.
Yeah,
If you
just
went
got
on it.
back into like August Burns Red.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
man.
super hard. You know,
Yeah.
love them.
That was kind of music we grew up playing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of that. I've actually been listening to right now. I'm like 5 hours into the Bible.
No kidding.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
New and Old Testament, Holy
Did you
Bible.
start with the Old Testament?
I started this however it's going. I assume maybe it's the old. I'm just listening. You know,
It's dense, man.
It's very
I,
dense.
I went another COVID project. I started at literally page 1 of the Old Testament, and
Yeah.
I got through about half of it, and then transitioned to audiobook. But I was
so
like, man,
my buddy gave my wife and I both for our wedding. Like it was called the Everyday Devotion Bible, and it was
Okay.
like I guess like the New Living or the New Living Testament or some shit or translation. So it was like every day you get to read a passage and whatever. And I guess maybe that was the New Testament what I'm listening to essentially follows that. So like as
Okay.
I'm listening to it, I was like, I remember reading this.
Yeah.
And reading it, I'm like, I'm just so dumb.
Oh my God.
You know, so dumb.
It was so over
it's
my
so
head.
dense.
Who are these
It is.
people?
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many characters in
Dude,
this story.
oh my
you know,
God.
there's a
Like,
lot.
so listening to it now, it's like, oh, I was following it
Yeah.
actually. You know, okay, cool. You know, but so I've been into that
That's
for, you know,
cool.
last couple days. Yeah, music, hardcore right now.
So when you flip over to country mode, because next week we're seeing 70
I know,
for the
next
first
week
time.
it's coming back.
Yeah.
What's the first song you're gonna put on?
Dude, I've been stuck on it even right now. The song Backup Plan by Bailey Zimmerman and Luke Combs.
Yeah.
I don't even think I know it.
Bro, if
Good
you
one.
haven't heard it, once we fucking end this today, listen to it.
Yeah.
We might put it as the episode
It will,
music for this.
it will
Yeah.
jive with the conversations we're having.
You know,
It's
everybody
about
in this
having no
office-
backup plan.
Your backup
How have I
plan's
not
getting
heard this
your
song?
backup plan's getting back up.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Like that's all it is, dude.
Luke
It's-
Combs, we have a couple good buddies of ours that have written a lot for Luke Combs.
Yeah.
Local guy, Rob Snyder, who was
Yeah.
in Westchester.
Yeah.
He wrote "She Got the Best of Me," I
Fuck
think,
yeah.
Hurricane,
Love
like
that
a
one.
bunch
Love
of
that
those
song.
songs.
Love
man.
those songs.
Dude, he's got. If you dive into Luke Combs, people, you know, we've had buddies and we've, you know, watched his show at the Link side stage, and
Yeah.
but he's an amazing performer. But dude, if you really listen to the lyrics of those songs, oh my
Dude.
Dude,
God,
there's some I
amazing.
can't.
Yeah.
Like I am so like never face my emotions kind of person. You know, or like just like completely disconnect.
Yeah.
You know, like we slaughter animals in our, you know, in our second life and stuff. So it's like there's a lot of just things we do where it's like, yo, just disconnect. Just
Take
Yeah.
the
Just
emotion out
do.
of it.
Yeah.
Like don't think, just do.
It's like being a Marine. Like you have to just do the job and
Exactly.
just flip
You
it
know, and
off.
I feel like sometimes I get stuck in that. You
Yeah.
know, so I'm like, dude, I listen to some of these songs like Just Because I'm Leaving or whatever.
Oh,
Yeah.
even though
like,
I'm leaving,
Bro.
dude, can't.
where the wild
can't.
things are, like
Where the wild things are, fucking having a brother.
We're
like,
so
can't
close.
fucking do
We're
it,
so
you know?
close with our dads. When I think about that kind of shit, I'm like, I can cry right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh.
Like,
I'm like,
bro.
I don't want to address that. Like,
Yeah.
you know, so I just don't.
Well, a lot of times, like those songs hit you when you're not expecting it, and you'll
Yeah,
hear something.
100%.
Like I'll, you know, we have not a huge property, but like I'll, you know, sit on the tractor, and for me, that's like my time to kind of let it go because I'm by myself.
Yep.
You know, I don't have to deal with kids running
Yeah,
around.
tractor's running, it's loud. You
It's
can't hear
loud.
anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
no one's hearing me weeping as
Yeah,
a grown man on my
exactly,
tractor.
dude.
So for, you know, for better or worse, but like a lot of times for me as a songwriter, like that's where I'll get inspiration for stuff because that's our music is I always try to blend like those stories of connection, nostalgia, you know, like family relationships,
Yep.
whatever. But man, there's like nothing better for me when the weather's nice and going back to Brooks and Dunn.
Yeah, dude.
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know about you guys, but
We need more of like a put on to like we're more of the I don't know it's got like the wrong we're more of like the white boy country.
yeah, like Morgan Wallen,
yeah.
Luke Combs, there's
Combs,
nothing.
Hardy,
Hardy, all
you
that
know,
kind of
like,
stuff.
Morgan Wallen's new album, like,
Awesome.
is outrageous.
Dude, fucking Florida Georgia Line.
I love,
like,
yeah, love that.
Love
Love
that.
Florida
Like,
Georgia
fucking
Line.
hot. It's like good vibe.
Yeah,
country
yeah,
music.
yeah,
100%.
Drinking beers with your buddies.
But I could use a little more put on to like the people that they're looking into, and
Yeah.
the people that inspire them. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like I don't
yeah.
know a lot of the old classic
there's-
stuff like
The
that.
songwriters.
Yeah,
Like I want to
Dude.
listen to the songwriters.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
It's unbelievable, man. Like there's so many people that are so fucking good at that. And people think like, oh, I could go out and write a country song.
Yeah.
It is phenomenally hard
Yeah.
to do it right.
God,
Oh,
yeah.
Every single like it's just like you guys. Like every letter of that thing is so choreographed and so thought.
Mm-hmm.
Like you sit in these songwriter rooms in Nashville, and we've done a million co-writes and a million writers rounds, you know, at
Yeah.
the listening room in these places. And like to hear a song that you're just crushed by, knowing that you're never going to hear it anywhere other than that room,
Yeah.
because there's 10 million songs in
Dude,
that town.
Yo, I
so
never thought of that.
It's crazy.
Our best friend is our tattoo artist. Our best fucking friend. Fuck tattoos. He's our brother. He's in Nashville right now, tattooing at Black 13. So if
Yeah, you were saying that,
Whenever
yeah.
you go to Nashville, hit up
I'm
Black
going in
13.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
I'll have to get us connected.
Go see
Yeah.
our boy. His girl, Meg, she's a singer, songwriter, everything out in Nashville too. One of her good friends, Joel, he writes for like Marshmello and other guys like this.
Okay.
We all spent a week in Arizona this past summer together, and he played me a song that he's trying to have, you know, Morgan pick up or somebody like that. And it was one of those things where he played it and the lyrics of it and the story of it, I was like, bro, I could listen to this on repeat for the fucking rest of my life. Like,
What was the
but
song? Like what was the premise of it?
Oh, I forget what it was. Oh, it was how like you fucking find this like really awesome girl in your life, but you don't take her seriously, and then she fucking ends up saying, "Yo, fuck you, I'm out of here," and then now you're like, "Yo, I literally just let this Florida sunshine girl just leave like the fucking Georgia storm."
Yeah.
And just like the way it was
like
said,
wine.
dude, it was
Like you're saying though, this song might never see the light of day.
man, like
I might never hear it again. It might go nowhere.
It was
crazy.
insane. So Joel, if you're listening to this, bro, please put it out. It was just one of those things where he played it and it was just like fucking chills. I was like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
But we'll probably never hear it.
You ever
Yeah.
you ever write for Jelly or anything?
No, we opened for him one time at Barefoot last year.
Bro,
Okay.
we literally took going like to our roots. So like we were big juggalos, always will be for my whole life. Dog, I remember watching Jelly Roll open for ICP. 2000.
Did he really?
Oh yeah.
You be a rapper.
Jelly
Like,
Roll was under.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I remember that.
Forever. Like
Forever.
him and Lil White had like 3 dual albums, like their faces stitched together on the cover. Dude, that was like watching him when he was living in the van or like living in the buses to like today is like this is the coolest musical career transformation I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Probably ever.
It's
You know what I'm
amazing, man.
saying?
Yeah.
Like to then like we're really into the Cam Hanes and all that kind of stuff too.
Yeah.
To watch him go through it with these guys we're also kind of like into listening to is like this is the cool like we say a lot. That's walking Jesus.
Yeah. Jelly Roll.
Jelly Roll is Jesus. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like
seriously.
legit, dude, he can talk to anybody and get through to anybody.
What an amazing storyteller
You know,
he is too.
yeah,
Through all
right.
like through music, through just this, the media and everything.
Yeah, dude.
What a good guy. It's good heart.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Well, that's cool. We got to collab on some country playlists for you
Yeah,
guys
yeah, for
because
sure,
I want
for
to.
sure.
If your boy can put out that song,
Dude.
That'd be sick.
I'd love to hear it.
Man, it was
We'll try to get it from him or something.
It was so good, and like
Just text it to me. I'd
apparently
love to just hear it.
He sings it all. Like his girl was saying, like I don't know how he has the vocal range where he can do anybody's voice. So it was
Really?
him singing it, but it sounded like Morgan wrote it or was singing it.
no kidding.
And I was like, bro, what the, like how did you do this? Oh, and he has that ear where he can do melodies and he knows how to write it and then could put the lyrics to it that tell a story. I'm like, Joel, you're the way I would love to see how your brain works.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like getting
probably
into your
similar
head.
to yours. I mean,
Yeah.
like you
All
can
of our
take
brains,
ramps
you know?
from it's a weird
It's a weird thing.
it's a weird thing. You're tapping into that frequency.
Yeah.
But all right, so country music season's upon us.
upon us.
Yep.
All right, so second question is it usually goes back to food. You guys are food. So outside of the things that you guys serve and make, what's the one dish, not the restaurant, but the specific dish in Bucks County that you guys like have to go to from any restaurant or any place?
My answer is gonna be terrible.
We've had some really funny ones. So there's no wrong answer to
It's
this.
gonna be
Just curious.
like, dude, and
Bucks County.
yeah, it's like just
I might have one.
The good restaurants are few and far between. I feel like so like, dude, we always say like the dive bars. Like I just want a good burger that's like hot, cooked right.
Yep.
Fries are
Truthfully,
crispy.
the chicken parm sandwich from the Perk in
Yeah.
Percy.
Dude, the perk is
Bro, the
every time
Perk
we play
is-
Sellersville City
Yeah, dude,
Theater,
Yeah.
all of our crew goes there before and after.
The Perk
so
is
it's,
the greatest place.
it's incredible.
Just the chicken parm sandwich on the Kaiser roll, the nice breaded chicken breast. Like I'll fuck that up all day.
There's shitty, yeah, they're shitty answers. Like we try to go out and stuff. Now having the young kids, I don't get out too often, so like I don't get to go experiment and try a lot of new things. So that's like a really really tough question, especially in Bucks County.
I would say another one too. Like I'm like, hey, I want to go get this. So we're in Dublin. We have the square and like
Yeah.
where Neshaminy Creek is and everything. So Little Devils was in there.
Yeah.
They just moved into the DMV parking
Okay.
center or whatever. They had a smash burger there.
Yeah.
That like my wife and I are like, yo, I don't want to cook some. Yeah, you want to get smash burger? And like
Really?
it was
Ooh,
that
okay,
one
okay,
specifically.
I guess not really a dish, but anything that I'm like my favorite thing I want to get it. My wife's always on board. The Caesar salad and the Filetti pizza at Spontino's.
Yeah.
So it's
man.
Spontino's
Yeah.
pizza.
Spontino's, shout out to them.
That's,
Dude.
that's probably like you want to ask my favorite
that's a
dish.
good one,
That's
yeah.
probably it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good
That's
one.
like one of those little holes in the wall that like we're so blessed to have that in Bucks County.
100%.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's an amazing dude. Spent his whole life honing this craft kind of thing, and like
Yeah.
I just don't think anything else compares to it. You know?
Yeah,
definitely
Their,
not.
their pizza's my favorite.
Oh
Yeah.
hands down.
I love De Lorenzo's because I grew
Yeah.
up on it, like going to Trenton after Little
Yeah,
League games.
okay, yeah,
So
yep.
you know where we just had an amazing burger was the new Wycombe Tavern or whatever it is.
Yeah.
We just went there last weekend. We had a French onion burger
Okay.
that was outrageously good.
Really?
Yeah, I think they just changed new ownership.
Yeah.
But just went with
It
a buddy
was
of
the
mine.
Wycombe House, I think. Before,
Yeah,
or
it's
something like
changed
that.
over a bunch of times.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Their
yeah,
burger there was absolutely insane.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. We don't like. It's not like I don't have like a fine dining dish or anything like that like automatically comes to mind or anything.
I mean, like, Arden is still my favorite place to go to.
Arden is
like,
so good,
my
man.
wife
Yeah.
loves going there. I love going there. You know, the food's always great. Yeah, like the go-to every time I want to do something.
It's funny.
It's a tough question.
Yeah, it is.
I'm like my go-to answer usually is I love the wings at the Gardenville Inn.
Huh.
The Gardenville Inn is
Really?
like my spot.
Dude, that's what we've always heard. I've
Yeah.
only been there one
Oh.
time.
Yeah.
One time.
Oh my god, I live right
Whenever
there.
you go,
So
let
like,
us know. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, but their original sauce, like hot wings, there's something I don't know. For some reason, it's like a nostalgic thing for me, even though I didn't grow up on those wings.
Yeah.
There's something in it that just takes me back
Okay.
20 years.
You want something good?
Yeah.
We worked at Farmhouse Tavern when we were like 17, 18 years old. They're mozzarella sticks.
Really?
Hand cut mozzarella. They hand bread them. They sell out all the time.
Yeah.
Like that's one of those kind of things too. That like if you like, unless you know, you kind of know.
That's what I'm looking for.
yeah.
Yeah. Like
the mozzarella sticks at Farmhouse Tavern
Yeah.
are awesome.
I truthfully love. It's probably my favorite place to go to. Crossroads Tavern, like on Hilltown Pike.
Oh, yeah,
kind of
yeah.
on that little bend. Bro, just the bartenders are always so nice. Everybody's so cool. They have PBR on tap.
love
Which
that.
you don't find too
Cold,
often.
fresh glass every single time. There's never a reuse of glasses. The food's great. It's always hot.
Yeah.
I love going there.
But Chambers 19 is like that's our watering.
That's
I
our
love
water.
John,
That-
man.
yeah, I love
He's
John.
one of my
dude.
favorite people.
Dude, we know Matt
Oh,
and Matt
man.
Caffrey forever. We actually, funny enough, going into music, when we were coming up 13 years old, there was a
probably
band called
10.
Little Buddy.
Okay.
We used to play there all the time. And my parents kind of knew the guys, and they were really close with Matt and Earl Caffrey. And we would play on their intermission. So we'd
Yeah.
play 3 or 4 songs. Like,
No kidding.
Yeah.
Jimi Hendrix and Jet and things like that, Aerosmith.
I love it, man.
on there.
We were
Like, we
like-
were actually in School Rock when we were kids.
Yeah.
Oh, very
So
cool.
that's
In
kinda-
Doylestown?
No, that was way before that. So we were the one it was in Ben Salem. But
It was like
Oh,
the
okay.
only one. There
We
was,
would-
there was not a
There-
chain
it
yet or
wasn't a
anything,
thing yet,
no.
yeah.
But we would play shows at the old Moose Lodge in Doylestown.
Yeah.
Oh, no way.
That was like their venue.
Yeah.
To where actually we know the guys, it's the Ernst Brothers, a big construction company. They bought and renovated the Moose Lodge. We had to cook for them there.
No kidding.
So being in their house, like, yo, dude, that was where the stage was. Yeah. This is where the kids would hang out.
Oh, that's
like,
cool.
you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's really cool. Yeah.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, we on the topic of John, and we've been really public about this. John and Matt Menino from Villa Capri
Yeah.
were like the first 2 people in town. I literally, after I had the conversation with my wife, I just walked into Doylestown one day and I was like, no one knows who I am. I don't have like a resume. I haven't played in 15 years.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna walk in and just be like, who's gonna take a shot?
Mhm.
You know, and they were the 2 guys that,
Oh, yeah.
that had at that point.
Nice.
And we wrote a song that it was one of the first singles we put out. It was called Country Club. And it was because we wrote it about John. I remember being in there having that conversation. Like, I'm a nobody, but, you know, seemed like a bro.
Sure.
You know, what can I do to kind of like prove myself? And we played for free, I think, for the first few times on
Yeah.
the other side where the restaurant
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
And there were 2 nights that we like just packed the place, you know, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But I remember writing that song from the conversation that I had with John. And you know how bartenders just have like this whiskey wisdom in them?
course.
They could just drop these little nuggets.
Yeah, dog.
And he dropped this line on me, and we put it in the song. And it was, you know, basically like, you know, you don't need a reason to celebrate every day. You know, you can just go do it. And we put it in the song. And
Nice.
the first time I played it for him, we had this like cathartic moment. He's like, holy shit, like you took that from this random conversation. I'm
Hell
like,
yeah.
dude, that's what I do. I'm a nerd. I like
Sure.
notice
Yeah, exactly.
everything.
Yep.
But it was the only club in town that let us play country music.
Sure.
Yeah.
And that's why we called it Country Club, because everyone else was like, you know, oh, you don't play Springsteen or
So-
Bon
yeah.
Jovi?
So-
and I'm like, no, man, this is the
Did you
shit I
guys
love
do
to
like
listen
the
to.
country nights there then? Is that what kind of started
We kind of started that with
Yeah,
John
yeah,
there.
no
Okay.
way.
Our dad
And
would
that's
always
where
like,
we
hey,
would meet.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
where we met your
we're
dad.
doing country night at fucking on
Yeah,
Wednesday
yeah,
or whatever.
yeah,
Correct.
yeah.
That's when we met your dad for
Wow,
the first
no
couple times.
shit. Shit.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, it's all coming together now.
it's all connected.
Yeah.
man.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah, yeah.
It's awesome, dude.
But all right, last question.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
what's one thing growing up, living, working, you know, pouring everything into Bucks County? What's one thing about Bucks County or this area that only people know that like have this kind of connection to it?
I think a big part is like it's extremely historic. I think that's something that maybe a lot of people from outside don't quite understand, like all the things that have happened here, which is pretty interesting. All of like when you go through Doylestown, how you see the plaques on the houses of like this was so and so's house, this was this person's house. I think that stuff's all really cool. Like, aren't we one of the original courthouses? Like some of the original like train lines that came up through here from Philadelphia and stuff like that. I think, I don't know, the seasons we love here. I think that's like something that like you get in other places, obviously, but being from here, I think it's just like we get such a spring, such a summer, such a fall, such a winter. They're so clearly defined, I feel like.
I would say, I don't know, I would say it would be like the people. Like if you're born and raised here, like, yo, you know if you're born and raised here.
Right.
You know, like
my wife and I always joke around when you come through Doylestown, when you're coming through town, you go past Montino's, you go through the light where the church is, where the people live. It's like Taylor's Alley, you know, Jules is on the left. There's that one little turn right there. When people either stop at the intersection, so they stop too soon, we're always like, "You're not from here." You know?
Well, I was just driving with my dad. We were coming back from just like looking at some cows we're trying to buy, and we're coming through Doylestown, coming up the hill, up through Main Street, past Montino's, but going north. And somebody tried to make a left where La Macaroon is.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh,
The
yeah.
one way
Yeah.
this way.
The one way.
I saw them from the lights on, like their blinker on. I said to my dad, like, "You ain't from here."
Yeah, things like that, you know.
So just like knowing everything around here, like how we are right now, dude. We can talk about Frenchtown to Ben Salem,
to
and
Newtown,
we know everywhere in between. Like,
And probably, to your point, a lot of the people, you know, is what brings it back for me is like, how many people did we just randomly name drop that were connected to it?
Exactly.
You know,
Look,
Ryan Coleman and Rob from
so
Spontino,
we-
and Matt Menino and
Yeah.
John. And
we
like,
see that at every event we do. Somebody knows somebody who knows somebody, or we know their cousin, or you know their friend had us, but they didn't put two and two together that it was us, or something. Like every single event we do is connected in somehow. Somebody is somebody else's something.
Yeah, exactly.
Like every single time.
Yeah.
Without fail. You
Yeah,
know,
it's
whether
amazing.
you're from here or not, there's like, oh yeah, I know these people, or oh yeah, I know these people, or oh, I was just at that farm today, or I was at None Such earlier today. I can't believe they're on your menu today, or
shout out to
something
Ron and
like
Scott,
that.
because I know you guys are
Sure.
the sweetest, like most amazing people.
I was
to
actually
ever
going to
meet.
say, funny enough, it came up right now, thinking about it on the drive over here. It's great that they're selling them now and they're doing well. We were the first two people to ever have a sweatshirt who didn't work there.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a huge badge of honor,
Yeah,
man.
That's what I'm saying.
exactly.
Yeah. Oh,
So
yeah.
it kind of sucks now they're selling them and everybody can have them.
It's
But,
great. It's
yeah,
great
yeah,
to do
yeah,
that.
yeah.
But
But that one's vintage. That's
exactly,
authentically original.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly. It's like we were kind of talking about earlier. It's cool. 5 years in, we've been buying from almost the same people the whole time. We've created such relationships. I remember going to None Such just to pick up some herbs or something, like the day before Thanksgiving or something like that. And they had all their turkey orders and all that kind of
I'm
stuff.
one of the guys that orders a turkey
Yeah,
from there,
okay,
so I was
hell
probably
yeah.
on the
Perfect.
list.
So I pull in, parking lot is an absolute
Complete shit show.
shit show. I see Scott out by the dumpster. 'Cause I always pull in and I just park all the way in the back. So I see him out there. He's like, "Oh man, perfect time to show up for work." I'm like, "Yeah, what's up, bro?" Like, and I'm like, "Hey, thank God I'm only here for herbs today." He's like, "Dude, here, come in the back. Just come in the back door." Like, so
Skip the line, skip all the shit
yeah.
in the
So
front.
I come in the back door. Rhonda's back there pulling her hair out, trying to get all the names.
The
for
girls
people
are
who-
working, like,
all the
yeah.
girls are working.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, we have all these time slots, and everybody shows up early. Why do we even have time slots? And I'm like, I know how that goes.
Yep.
Just get my herbs, surpass the line. You know,
Yep.
like it's cool to build these relationships, and then like, I don't want to say get privilege, but get to see the behind the scenes
Yeah.
of, like we're saying, people that you once idolize.
Yeah.
You know, we've been driving past None Such Farm with our grandmom for 30 years.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
You know, like, and to now know them, to forage on their property,
Yeah.
to just want to have beers with Scott
Even
and
like
Rhonda
that,
and stuff.
even like
yeah.
they're like Oktoberfest. We'll go get pumpkins and stuff. It's always like, you guys, if you go around the trailer, there's some beers over there.
yeah, there's some
And
beers
we
in the
go
cooler.
and have some beers with the guys who
Isn't
work
that
there.
funny?
You know
It's
what I
such a
mean?
small
Like-
world, man. So our relationship with them started years ago, but we played their Oktoberfest
Oh
one
yeah,
year.
nice, yeah.
And we just developed this awesome friendship, and it came through like a Facebook message,
Mm-hmm.
Rhonda reaching out, like saying, "Hey, we love your music, this and that." We come to find out that a couple of their daughters are really big fans of country music, but also this guy Jackson Dean, who
Okay.
we've gotten to be friends with through their drummer, who like recorded an EP for us and a live album and all this stuff. So having known all this, we played at the Sellersville Theater like right after I think Oktoberfest one year. And I invited Scott and Rhonda and the girls to like sit front row and like do this whole thing. And, that relationship turns into now they give us free turkeys
Yeah,
for,
exactly.
for
Exactly,
Thanksgiving.
exactly.
But like that kind of shit, man, is like what makes this place to me
I wonder-
so cool.
I think
wonder-
that's what keeps Bucks County.
Yeah.
I totally agree
Like
with you.
getting it,
Yeah.
like we we have great friends of ours who are amazing home builders, and I love their success. But we always keep saying, like, when is developing enough?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, we're getting so many outside New Yorkers and Vermont people and everything else coming here, fucking up our way of life.
Yeah.
You know?
Making left-hand turns on
Yeah,
one-way
exactly,
streets.
That's what I'm saying.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
It's bullshit.
No, well, guys, this is I think this is really overdue, and
Yeah.
I could not be happier to be finally, connected
Us
and
too.
doing this thing, and lots of huge things I think for us to come in the future, man.
I agree.
So, Nick, Steven, guys,
Dude,
thank you so
my man,
much.
My man.
This is awesome.
Oh yeah, sir.
Another episode of Backstage Bucks County in the books. Where can we find you guys? All the socials,
Instagram,
website.
Facebook's the Servis Events. If you go on Google Servis Events, that's SERVIS, not CE. Just see people's brains scramble when you try telling them that.
I'll say, hey, Servis, SERVIS, as they're on their phone. Oh, I can't find it. I'm like, yeah, could you put CE?
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Like, I'm right in front of you.
So SERVIS, if you type that on Google, you'll find everything. We have an amazing Google business profile. You can see photos from our guests. We have 155-star reviews, all from our guests, which is amazing. Then our website is servis-events.com.
Love it. And where can people find that list of all the farms? that
Email
are out
us.
there?
So email us
Okay.
an email to let's-eat@servis-events.com. Just say, hey, I want your farm list, and we'll send it over to you.
Yeah.
Killer. If we can grab that from you and send it
Absolutely.
out to like the
Absolutely.
following people that
100%.
listen, awesome. That'd be
100%.
amazing.
Yep.
All right, boys. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for being here. This
Thank
was
you.
awesome.
Awesome.